looks like we are going to have a best of 7 though here between King of Osmane and Bababoo. The first map is going to be Siberia as per the norm. And I'm kind of looking forward to watching these two guys play. Some fresh blood, you know, a lot of people were saying, like, you know, we're getting tired of watching the same, like, 3 players play over and over and over again. And so, got some fresh blood, and I'm excited to see how that works out. Sam has joined me today. He is going to be co-casting in Interjection's stead, and he's currently away making a drink as per the norm. Sam taking his 10-minute back. His 10-minute break, but should be back in a moment. And once he is back, we will get rolling into this game number 1. Game number 1 between King of Osmane versus Bababoo. King of Osmane looks like he has chosen the Japanese civilization for this particular map. And it looks like Bababoo has taken the German civilization on this map. Of course, this map really good for Japan, has lots of wood treasures. Germany, similarly, can use those wood treasures to get an early trading post and stuff. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. And we'll do the normal Smackdown-ish maps for the first couple. We'll do Siberia, followed by Hudson Bay, followed by Mongolia. Those are my 3 favorite maps currently, and so those are the reason why those 3 maps get played. And after that, we'll probably just roll into player's choice. Maybe we'll ask the chat some of your maps. I see someone saying Regicide Honshu. I don't know that that will necessarily make it into the play, but no guarantees is all I'm going to say. Another person asking where Interjection is at. I don't know where Interjection is at. If I knew, I would tell you. Unfortunately, he is just didn't show up. Didn't say anything. For the time being, I guess we can assume that he is dead. And should he return, we'll all breathe a sigh of relief knowing that he has made a swift recovery. Oh, Interjection is alive! Look it, he's alive! Everyone, don't panic. Interjection is alive. Well, maybe we're going to get an epic tri-cast in here then. Yeah, I'm going to pull Interjection in right now. I'm just going to YOLO him into the call. The perfect storm of Sam needing to make tea and Interjection being alive has occurred. Hey, Interjection, what's up?
I'm alive. Rejoice, everybody. I just got back from work. I tried to get off early, but it was quite the journey home, and I was 5 minutes late, alas.
But fortunately, as I was just mentioning, Sam's also here. He's taking one of his characteristic pre-Smackdown 10-minute breaks, and as a result...
And that worked out in my favor.
It worked out in your favor. We haven't started yet, so we're still sitting up here in game number 1, just getting ready, and it looks like Sam has returned. Interjection has joined us, so we're gonna take a try at a tri-cast here.
ZutaZuta. P-Slot says ZutaZuta. Don't be rude, Kappa.
Play on words of my name. I've never heard that one before, strangely enough, in my life.
Oh, originality, boys.
/ sarcasm.
Yep. Well, you can only imagine what it's like having the name William and Ball.
William Ball.
Which is often abbreviated to Willie.
Willie Ball.
And to make matters worse, my grandfather's name, or his grandfather before him, was actually Balls. They had it changed by Deepole. And his name was Willie.
It would be funny if it was like Big or something like that. Big Balls.
Though my grandfather, my actual grandfather, we for some reason, we call him Big Ball. Because he's a rather large man, and Granddad Big Ball. That's hence I've known him, I've known that is his name since I was a little boy. How about you, Samwise12?
I'm very tired. I just got back home.
Where you been?
I've been down to Cornwall for the week.
Oh, I see. So you're jet lagged from Cornwall.
Yeah, I've just had like a 7-hour drive.
Oh, okay, that's why you're tired. Right? Yeah, that is rather.
For those of us who aren't a British lad, where is Cornwall?
It's like the very far southwest. Yeah.
Very far southwest. I see.
He's not jet lagged at all. I was.
No, I'm
taking
not jet lagged. I'm just tired from
It's the
driving.
same country.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
country, same time zone. Like
It's a long journey though. That is, yeah.
England's just this little like island. Like there's not really that much room to travel in it, right? Like you can
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
There's
Dude.
quite a lot you can do.
We don't have straight roads like you do. It takes us a long time to get from A to B.
crazy.
The
breaks.
host cancelled the game.
No,
Yeah, our roads were built by Romans, all right? So, well, actually, they built straight roads. So the people before them that had the windy roads. We had a Canadian teacher come over for a year, and he was like on his way to work, like trying to do stuff in the car, and he was shocked at how much attention he had to pay to the road because he had to keep turning the wheel. And
by the way, the host didn't cancel the game. Just try rejoining from like the browser.
oh, why was I removed?
I don't know.
I don't. There was a period of time where King of Osmane didn't like me very much at all.
Oh, really?
I think there's a moment like that for everyone. Isn't it?
Really? I didn't know anything about him. I was just chatting with him a little bit before the start of the game. He seemed like a fairly level-headed individual, but
He's come a long way since him and I played. If he's truly ranked 33, then he's definitely come on a lot.
we watched. Who did he play in the we casted him previously.
Yeah, we did. Selma.
Is that in the
Zach.
tournament?
I know not which name is correct. Let me look.
DJ with an S or something like that.
Yeah, it's
DJ.
DJ Selma. Come on.
DJS.
DJS.
All right.
All
Let's get into this.
Let's do
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday's Smackdown for... Oh, wow. Good job, I always... this is kind of routine now. What is the date?
It's the 1st of August. I actually had to check. I had to
Ah.
tab out and check because I didn't actually know. But it's the first day of August, so...
Is it really August already?
It's
Good Lord.
actually August already.
Good God, wow. That's... my summer vacation is being used up quickly. And that's for sure. But... we do have another Saturday Smackdown, the first one of August 2015, and this is a TriCast, of course. Myself, Interjection, and ZutaZuta are here. But we're also joined by Samwise12. Hello, Samwise.
Hello, boys.
How you doing?
Hello, boys. That sounded only slightly homosexual, and I'm not trying to be homophobic or anything, but... Hello, boys.
What if he said hello, lads, as Samwise is accustomed to doing?
Yeah, that would have been super British.
Yeah.
Do you have many
Catholic
lads
pride.
in America?
I don't know if that's like slang for something dirty, like or something. I'm just like out of the loop right now.
Like a lad is like a sort of stereotypically masculine guy, I guess. But that's not even a good description. Like a lad is a lad. Like I don't know. It's
It's just a British term that like
It's a bit-
nobody
yeah.
knows anything about. By the way, King of Osmane has picked up insanity for treasures. He's already got 90 wooden
Oh,
treasures.
what? This is
And-
Age of Empires 3 in front of us?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And he's already walked past this. Like he's gonna be able to pick that up with ease.
It's a massive treasure. 90 wood, 50 wood, 40 wood. Oh my goodness. Japan is definitely in a good spot right now with that Portuguese consulate. And of course, I don't have my UI installed. God damn it, I took it out for the campaign speed. But no doubt he will have sent Heavenly Cammy.
Yes.
Wow, to a nice start. But of course, King of Osmane in the north of the map in the colour green, starting with lots of wood treasures, though his opponent, Bababoo.
Bababoo. I've been saying Bababoo.
Alright, Bababoo. Or Bob for short. In the colour red, playing as the Germans.
It's
That's time
Margin
in the
Boo.
house.
That's what I go by.
What'd you go by?
Margin Boo. That's his name. What's your name Margin Boo is?
No. I have no idea who that is.
You've not seen Dragon Ball Z?
Nope.
Damn it.
It's a reference that I didn't catch.
Yeah. That was yeah.
I'm assuming it's like some character or something in that game.
Certainly is.
Certainly is. Either way, King of Osman has picked up that 90 wood treasure, and he's already got 2 shrines on the floor with an extra 58 wood in bank, so a really nice start for him. Of course, it was a coin crate start, so he's not going to be able to spring that into like a 12-vil age up with no idol or anything like that, but still a good start nonetheless. When Japan can get that many treasures early in the game, especially on a map like this, in a matchup where any bit of eco early in the game that they can eke out is going to be super important. Definitely a huge bonus for him.
Juba the pet monkey has arrived.
Look at that little monkey. You know, whenever I pick up that monkey, I always forget about him, and I always just like accidentally leave him like just sitting where I pick him up.
I always seem to have a hotkey that selects all of my military units. He ends up sort of finding his way into my main army and just slowing everything down. This is random.
I usually group him with my infantry. Send him in.
What?
Send him into battle.
I see.
Just get him out of the way real quick.
Yeah, basically just want him dead so he doesn't annoy you anymore.
He soaks up 90 HP worth of damage, but you know, maybe you arm him with a musket. Could be pretty good. It's a monkey with a musket. Well, that'd be interesting. Enough of this though. What's going on right now?
Really nothing. I mean, it's Siberia, right? It's Japan on Siberia, so he's building shrines. He's actually already up to 4 shrines, which is really important. He's had a really good start. For the German player, did get a very early hunting dogs as well, 1 minute and 9 seconds on that, and is currently teching placer mines. So everything looking really good for Bababoo as well. And also has this trading post up in the mix as well. So a pretty decent start for him. Perfectly honest, he's looking like he's in a good position, and we'll see where he progresses from here. Likely going to do some sort of semi-FF. We can see he's already got villagers tasked together and coin herding his animals nice and close. We can see he's already got 2 big herds of hunts starting to work their way back towards his town center, which is going to put him in a good position, keep those nice and safe in case any sort of timing pressure were to come. And we can see he's aged up now, and we'll have to see whether or not he drops a stable or a barracks, or whether or not just techs straight into the 3rd age.
That is the question, but there is the stable, very characteristic of the German semi-FF.
Have you seen the walls?
Oh wow, yeah. Look
Have
at the
I
walls.
seen the walls? Yeah.
So many walls.
Is this Kinesi Jr.?
Something really weird. I had to restart stream, actually, quick.
You have to restart this. Oh, the stream's gone offline.
Yeah, it's fine. It should be back up now, but my
Alright.
sound has gone weird as well.
What happened?
I don't know, like something, like I can hear myself through my mic.
It's
See
back,
you next week. Yeah, I turned it back on now. It should be fine. I'll have to fix my sound after this, but it's fine.
So, it looks like these Ulans can't actually get free. Well, we're about to find out, I guess.
Oh, here we go.
Can
yeah, he's in.
He's in.
He's in. King of Osman, your expensive wall is completely useless. Oh no! But fortunately, he's raiding Japan with hussars, or Ulan, more to the point. They're not hussars, but camp generally are not very useful for raiding villages right outside a town center. Well, that's not true, but certainly not very effective here. Doesn't manage to pick up any kills and is punished a little bit by these Ashigarus.
Yeah, he should be perfectly fine here as well. I mean, the bad thing is, like, the wall still did slow down the German player a little bit, so, like, it gave him vision of which angle he was coming at and stuff like that as well, so was able to at least get his Ashies into a good position to actually deal with it, and as a result, like, I think he should be fairly satisfied with this wall. It's still giving him, like, complete vision of where the Ulans are, even though they can sneak in.
Yeah, true. But still, forcing his villagers off the berry bushes is perhaps going to lose one. Does lose a villager.
Yep.
Ooh. But I don't think he's going to be too upset about that, really, considering.
he got some pretty good value out of it. He's killed a lot of the Ulans. And remember, there they go.
That's exactly my point.
Are they gonna like maybe not be able to sneak out? But no, there they sneak right on back out.
He's gonna add in that wall segment again.
I never understand these wall segments, honestly. Like, it's 5 wood. Why would you risk having a hole in your wall for 5 wood?
If you like, you can build it in such a way that it takes a lot of APM to do it, to build the entire wall. But you can get it so that because you have to do each individual sort of segment and then delete the little bits. I believe
I've seen people like Diaraga and Kinesi, like they can get it to like it's like perfectly like close to like they're overlapping each other slightly, and and it does like save on some wood. Then
is it worth it really?
I'd be too lazy to do it.
It's like it's
so
like
much
40
work.
wood. It was not worth the hassle.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra work. If you can do it fast, like it's probably one of those little things that can separate it. And especially like if you don't need a lot of walls, like just walling off a couple little like key areas, then it's probably better. In a situation like this though, where I'm like trying to wall like in a complete circle all the way to the back of my base, I would probably just shift click it and make sure that it's done. But either way. Bababoo is aged up, and King of Osmane is following him up as well. So we'll have to see. It looks like we're going to duke it out in the 3rd age.
I think so too. I'm going to leave this up to you mostly, you guys. I don't have a UI installed, so this is...
It's always so painful. You don't realize like how much you depend on it until like it's not there, and it's like, well, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just sitting here.
Japan is 60% of the way up. Bababoo's got 2 TPs, could be getting stage gate soon. Built his racks, got his vet Ulans upgraded.
Oh,
that's about it.
Really. Okay. Why did you resign? Oh, so
now
you can see
I
the
have
post-game.
access to the post-game graphs, old school commentary out here.
Yeah, you remember like it used to be so much work, like when you would have to do that, and you'd have to like constantly be flipping like into the graphs to like to see like the villager counts and stuff like that.
You'd be checking what shipments they send from like coin graphs and stuff.
It was
Did he
so
send 600 coin? Oh yep, here's a giant spike.
Yep. Either way, Bababoo looks like he's in a pretty good spot, and it's really just going to come down to that next shipment, whether it's 8 skirms, likely going to be 8 skirms, and then just tries to timing push and deal with Japan before he can get the upgrades. He is sieging down a couple of shrines here, wants to make sure he doesn't get caught, and there do come those 8 skirms, so working 4 war wagons into the mix, and now with the 8 skirms plus 3 vet Ulans arriving as well, going to have a very strong little window here where the Japanese player has invested a lot of resources in things like a castle and training a flaming arrow, and he's going to have a range advantage, he's going to have a slight upgrade advantage, and he's going to be have a pretty good timing push here. I think a pretty good window. I think, honestly, King of Osmane has intentions of going towards the next age, and should he overinvest into trying to age again right when this timing push comes, could find himself in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, definitely could. But at this moment in time, does have a whole wall up with flaming arrows behind it, and that that to me looks pretty strong. And I think here he's got enough resources inside his base to last for the time being. He's got his shrine economy. Do you think he can outlast Germany and weather the storm that is Germany's timing push? Probably not if he loses the flaming arrow. Oh, boys!
Oh.
His chances drastically go down here, and with an incomplete wall, actually. What I'm saying is perhaps less relevant.
Yeah, well, so he does still have... He's got 3 more flaming arrows in queue, which are going to be huge when they pop out. This is going to help push back the growing skirmisher number. But as you mentioned, like, that timing window for Germany is pretty long. Like, he's got at least those 4 very strong shipments of 8 skirm, 7 skirm, 9 Ulan, 8 Ulan that are going to improve his position continually during the course of those coming in. And until all of those are, have been burned through... Japan is going to have to weather that entirety of the storm. And, certainly 3 flaming arrows, especially if he can get off shots like that right into the middle of the infantry, are definitely going to help. But he still has a long ways to go to to actually like fully stabilize him.
I think so. And here, being forced out of his walls, Germany, sending those shipments, stocking them up. Here, though, we do have 5-0 coming in around the back. Does manage to snipe off one of the flaming arrows, though. The other one, nicely protected by. That's not true. It's now on the front and gets taken out by the Ulan. And just all of these Japanese units going to get DPS down by Capos, taking sort of support fire in the back from skirmishers and a couple of war wagons. Sit down!
Yeah, that was actually such a good flank there by Bababu. He got into a really good position with his Ulans. Got a really nice flank with the reinforcing batches coming in from the south, and was able to pick off basically all of those flaming arrows for free before any damage was actually any relevant damage was actually done by them. And now, I mean, he's in panic mode. He's in panic mode. He's just trying to get up enough walls to survive against, this impending pressure that's going to come here. And
these villages going to pick off those villages going to get picked off. I think Japan getting forced outside of his walls here because the shrines are under siege, and then Germany takes advantage of a really good flank with the reinforcing units, as you said. And now Japan, though 2 flaming arrows do arrive, but I think Germany's done enough damage.
Yeah, and the one other thing that really does concern me here is we take a look at the cherry orchard for King of Osman. He only has 800 food remaining on that cherry orchard, and he just sent 8 Ashigaras as his previous shipment. So I don't think that he's actually going to have cherries here in the very near future. And at that point, Germany is up to building his 3rd trading post. He's out on the map. One of the things usually you have to worry about with Germany is like, where am I going to gather coin from? But that's certainly not an issue. These villagers have been spotted out, and Japan looks to be in a pretty bad spot here. It's looking to be a little bit rough.
Yeah, I wish I could see the military unit population. Oh, I can! I have graphs for that. Let me go and have a look.
It's currently 69 versus 31. I'm actually not sure how the scores are this close. It seems to me like King of Osman just doesn't have really that much. I guess he's got some Ashigaras, but and he does have 200 shrine pop. But there, as I mentioned, he is now officially out of cherries, and I don't think he has any way to gather those. And now that that has ended, his military production is going to suffer as a result of that. I mean, all of his infantry units cost food, and with the inability to gather food, it's going to be really hard for him to get enough Ashigaras to defend these flaming arrows, which is going to be absolutely critical to him pushing out and securing this next coin mine. I mean, he's out of resources in his base. He has to secure that coin mine, and if he can't secure one of these coin mines here within the next minute or two, he's just going to hard run out of resources. He has no coin, he has no food, and all he really has left are these couple of trees in his base, and he's gonna start suffering as a result of that.
Yeah, maybe this is a case of the scores look fairly even right now, but perhaps will swiftly change once the fight commences, because Germany clearly has the advantage here in terms of military unit population. Though having said that, King of Osman now has 4 flaming arrows behind these walls.
Yeah.
Though, as you mentioned, with the lack of cherries, he's either going to have to send that shipment pretty promptly or get up some sort of infrastructure.
Wow, big raid coming in.
Get inside the wall!
Look at how much damage those Ulans do. Immediately pops another gate, but gonna lose a lot of villagers there.
You need a gate? You got holes in it.
He has holes in the wall. He'd probably just sneak his way on through there, but either way, Bababu is doing a really good job of keeping his eye on these coin mines. He knows where his opponent has to gather coin from, and he's just continually standing by them. I also like the fact that he's gotten stuff like Stagecoach to back up his economy, and he's also spotted out this town center, so he's going to be able to continue to deny the resource gather locations of the Japanese player here moving forward, which is what he really needs to do to lock down the scheme. The more he can lock down the map and keep the coin mines in his favor, the better it's going to be. At the same time, he does need to continue to siege shrines. There are things like, these 3 shrines down here that have gone completely unpunished for quite some time, and should be able to control those. And when he's able to control those, then he's just going to continue to push his advantage even further forward.
I'm looking at all resources gathered here, and actually Japan's sitting at 25,000 resources compared to only 20,000 from the German player. You know, obviously the efficiency of shrines is really, really good, and Japan does have, as you mentioned, 200 shrine pop earlier in the game. He, you know, managed to get up quite a few shrines. Has this game gone on long enough for Japan to get to the point where, you know, they're no longer sort of that weak Civ in the early game where they're, you know, very vulnerable to pressure, and is at this point sort of gotten to a point where he is able to stabilize and you know, he's now got his cherry orchards back. Is Japan really in such a bad spot?
It's really close. I mean, he spent a lot of resources investing in like this infrastructure outside of his base, but at the end of the day, he really has to be able to control a coin mine. And if he can't control a coin mine, he's going to suffer. And we can see, like, the other place he was gathering coin has been found out about here. He's going to lose this town center, which is, you know, not a cheap investment by any means. And
true.
You know, when that goes down, like, he's just continuing to bleed out here. He really has to find somewhere that he can gather coin from.
They do have a fight here, and this is exactly what it's going to be over coin. I think, you know, clearly there's a coin mine here. He's not collecting coin currently. He needs a place to gather coin, and because he doesn't have a place to gather coin, that's going to force the issue. Gonna force a fight here. Well, at least force presence towards a coin mine, and since both players are in the area, then there'll at least be tension. Currently, just the skirmish units skirmishing. They're about to take flaming arrows to the face. They're not there. Oh God, that's exactly
so brutal. It's so
They're
good.
in a good spot. The Cav are on the wrong side. This is a good spot for King of Odds, man. He's got the good positioning. Germany gonna have to back off here, and this can be feeling okay.
Wow, the volleys are real. He got so many skirm kills there, and I don't know. Like, maybe this is enough here to you know, allow him to break the pressure.
But the cavalry do come in. They try to get a surround on the cannons, but Osman identifying that he needs to get his musks but they come too far forward. Oh no, Osman, that's not what you wanted at all. Oh, the flaming arrows look like they're going to go down, but all the Ulan are going to go down as well. But still, that's not what Osman wanted. But at this point, does seem to have quite the number of units, and is able to clean this up with 2 flaming arrows to spare. Actually,
yeah, I think he's good. Like, I think he's busted the contain. The German player is, I mean, really out on the map. Oh man, look at the Jaegers getting caught out here by a couple of Nagys as well. I don't know. I think Germany's threat has been outlasted here. We can see he's shipped all of the relevant shipments. He's shipped 8 skirm, 7 skirm, 9 Ulan, 3 war wagon. He's kind of burned through his power spike, as it were. And, you know, with these Jaegers, once they're dealt with, that's really the last kind of scary thing that's really here on the map. Now, Jaegers are, of course, very, very good, but the contain has been broken. The town center is up on the right-hand side of the map for King of Osman, and I don't know if he can get the control back that he's going to need to continue to fight here. Japan is back out on the map, gathering resources freely, up to 200 shrine pop, and moving his way forward here.
With 2 town centers, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Japan, even though he lost, you know, perhaps more flaming arrows than he really wanted to there, at this point is just, I think, able to out-resource, out-eco, and outmass his opponent. He's withstood the German pressure, the timing pressure. That window is perhaps closed now for Germany.
Yeah,
and
maybe
Japan,
even more importantly, Germany, like, they're so coin dependent, right? Like, they need so much coin to operate. Look at his side of the map. There are basically no coin mines left. A random ping from Sam. He hasn't said anything in ages, and he just pings.
Yeah, hey. Sorry, I was speaking to someone.
Having a cup of tea.
Actually, I'm having a cup of tea.
God, I really want a cup of tea now.
That's like the most British thing you can say. I really wish I had a cup of tea.
It was the first thing you did, Sam, when you got back from your holiday, switch the kettle on and make a cup of tea.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I thought it would be. That's absolutely the first thing that I would have thought of doing.
I don't. This game's like so close. Like this is so weird. Like
No, not now, Zio. We're talking about tea. We're having a moment.
a special British bonding moment.
Oh no, the flaming arrow. Oh, what were you gonna say? Though we do see 4 more.
What I was gonna say is like he's just shipped cherry orchards again. Like I don't know. Like he maybe is to a point where he's like gonna start running out of resources again. Like he's got this town center up over here, but he's just exhausted with this coin mine. He has some coin mines remaining, but like they're gonna be in pretty scary places to defend. And now Germany has the map control again, right? He has 68 military units versus 36. And
this is a bizarre game.
This is a bizarre game.
Over a minute ago.
I thought it was over for Germany, Germany had won, and then I thought it was over, like the Japan had won, and now it's starting to look really, really poor for Japan once again.
And I'm looking at the all resources gathered, and Japan continues to creep ahead. Now 10,000 resource gap compared to a 5,000 resource gap, and I think the reason Germany is still in this is surely from the efficiency of his, picking off the flaming arrows here and there. He's done a really good job of that over the course of the game. Big pickup for Germany. This is what he needs to even out some of the resource potential for King of Osmane. I think if the longer Osmane exists on the board, the stronger he will get, and he will creep ahead of Germany. But if Germany can keep up the efficiency of the trading he's had so far, keep forcing these villagers off coin and control the map, then maybe there's still a chance for him to win this.
We've also got raids going on down here as well, by the way.
Oh man, there's like raids going on. There's like random clubs sieging houses and towers and stuff as well.
And there's like 12 villas shooting clubs.
That's how annoying that must be. The houses are like basically 1/3 health left just from 2 club members. Like that must be so frustrating.
Yeah.
What we really needed to drop some town centers earlier and not in his base. Like he needs to get them out of the map and secure them.
Yeah, the thing is though, now there's really no coin left on the map. I guess it's going to shift over here to the left-hand side where there's these 3 coin mines that are still partially remaining, but we're quickly approaching a point in the game where there's not going to be any coin left.
Going on. This could be I'm pretty sure Germany wins this fight fairly hard.
Ooh, do you think so? And there's only a couple of daggers.
That's true, but we also have to take into account the ability of the players, and so far this game I've seen King of Osmane slip up on the flame and arrow control. Maybe though he's learned his lesson, maybe Babu can snipe them. They're out of position. The cavalry coming forwards.
Oh no!
This is definitely going to be
worried about this. But yeah, as you mentioned, Cav getting right in there, getting a good position on the flaming arrows, doing a lot of damage, and that's exactly what he needed.
That just exacerbates how much we're expecting Germany to win this fight, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and
that just swung the game. That's so.
And I think Japan certainly able to out-eco Japan able to out-eco Germany, but now that Germany has this map presence and is going to be able to control the remaining resources, I think that's not going to be relevant for the King of Osmane. These extra town centers and it's not going to be so useful.
The King of Osmane. Where is Osmane?
What do you mean? Where is he?
Well, you said the King of Osmane.
Oh,
Where's
I don't know. In some imaginary land that he's made up.
Yeah, that was nice by Bob. That was a classic team game move right there.
Yeah, send 5 random cav to like a corner coin mine, and then like he reacts and like hangs his units out to dry, and you like smash into their army while he's like trying to deal with the raid.
I think Osmane is Turkish for Ottoman Empire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Just that's my sort of presumption from a single Google search.
Yeah.
Sorry if my.
So I would have liked to see Bob push a bit harder off of that.
Did I just say Turkish? That's not a language. Never mind.
Turkish is it not a language?
They speak Arabic.
Okay.
Either way, things that like the armies are actually really big on both sides.
Yeah.
Up to 100.
So it looks like Bobaby is finally going to take out these shrines because he has run out of hunts.
Yeah. It's actually pretty big for him to still be able to gather those hunts back there because
these shrines have been a full game.
Yeah.
Oh well, that is funny. Yeah. Look at the score. It's literally the same.
Yeah.
And Japan has, access to, well, not very much for him, but certainly
That's
something.
quite funny. His explorer's grouped with his skirms, I think. And he's just no, he deleted the TCO.
He deleted. He's gonna put it down here by the hunks, which
all of that,
But he's just run out of gold mine as well.
Wait, what happened? I thought Germany had, presence control over the map. Was denying Japan the ability to gather.
Well, his
here, King
problem
of
was-
Osman bouncing back with absolutely huge amounts of Naginata riders and musketeers to match.
it's partially because Bababoo.
Every resource ran out at the same time.
Yeah, Bababoo has to make plantations here. Like that's his next move, and he's got so many villagers chopping wood just to try and get up a plantation.
I can't see the resources.
It's perhaps going to be the defining moment in this game.
Yeah. Oh, these houses gonna go down, and there's no way that Bababoo can prevent this.
Yeah, he's also at 190 population though, so like he's got a big army, and he just sent Cav Combat as well not too long ago, so he's got a very strong army, and he could potentially just smash this fight.
Do you think so? It looks to me as if
win this fight.
Yeah, I think he should
Especially
win the fight.
if he fights in his base around the houses, then Nagi won't do much.
Yeah, especially, he's got this big reinforcing batch of war
Oh
weapons that just came out as well.
wow. Okay, that's where the units were. I wasn't looking at those. I was just looking at the army that was initially next to his town. I didn't see all of these joining the fray. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff here, and if you can bait him into this like position where he's like jammed behind these houses.
Oh, here we go. Japan gonna take the fight anyway. Good. Well, I was gonna say a good position with this cav on the skirms, but there's a lot of houses in the way, forcing a lot of the cav to not be in combat here. War wagons, as clunky as they are counters to Naginata, all in the back doing plenty of damage here, and just these cav really not achieving all that much.
They just drop so quickly in those Nagi.
Yeah. And there's still all of the war wagons sitting in the back, and I mean, they're not ideal at dealing with Ashes, but they're still going to be relevant when it comes to, hunting down these Ashes and trying to kill them a little bit. And now, like, a huge swing back in Bababoo's, favor in terms of military population. He's almost double military population.
I don't know if you've noticed, but these skirms have been rallied to this point the entire game. He's never changed it.
He's just getting in the harass skirms.
Yeah, it's quite funny because he's actually been raiding the mine with it for so long, like unintentionally.
He's noticing now. He's gonna run away.
Oh, here comes the cav. I think maybe they do. Yeah, they get away. Okay. Oh wow, this is one interesting game, but
this is still really, really close. It's so
but
close.
Germany still has to transition.
He's just got counter infantry rifling as well, which is huge.
Oh, does he? Yeah, it's going to be huge in dealing with Ashes. Yeah.
I want to click on a Jaeger. 30 range damage multiplied by 3. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Even the skirms have just insane damage at this point. 18 damage with a 3x multiplier.
And that's the more relevant unit, right? Because that's the one you can actually make. Here comes some cav, but there's not enough. There's a lot of war wagons there. Japan isn't going to take it. I don't know if Japan can hold out, though. There's not going to be as many reinforcing German units, because as we can see, doesn't have all of his mills and plantations up. German player doesn't have them all up. Equally, Japan doesn't either, but Japan does have shrines, which are here generating resources out of nowhere. And considering all the natural resources are running out, that's starting to be a real big bonus that he's creating resources that don't exist.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Look at the infrastructure for Bababoo. He's got a single plantation up, 2 plantations up, I guess, but still, he probably needs at least 2, maybe even a third more plantation just to be able to
how many builds
reinforce units. So
and Japan is able to so much easily more create units because has access to these resources incoming as Germany don't. So if Germany can outlast, Japan can outlast this, perhaps is in a good spot.
Yeah, the same thing has happened the other way around now. Just as he's lost his army, he's run out of all of his mines have run out, both of his orchards have run out. So he now is transitioning to laser chariot and rice paddies as well.
Yeah. And still,
the efficiency of rice paddies is so much better than plantations, though.
Definitely is.
There's the rally,
The rally point.
Yep, continuing to deny the coin mine. He's actually doing. I've been really impressed with Bababu's like presence of mind to continually deny the coin mines. Like that's something that's really easy to slip up on and to just kind of take for granted and let your opponent just like sneak 10 vills out to the side and continue to gather from a coin mine for like 5 or 6 minutes. But he's done a good job of denying that. And oh, another big army coming in here. It looks like we're gonna have another big clash.
Yeah.
The Cav got caught in that house game once before. It looks like they don't want
These
to.
shrines are like half HP. It's so disappointing that none of them actually died.
Oh man,
But this
he's trying to get away. He's trying to get back to these.
Does not want to be in that fight at all. This is going to be brutal for Germany. There's so many units, and I think this is a result of Germany not being able to reinforce quite as easily. And here comes Japan. All the skirmishers getting surrounded by Naganetas, which have that multiplier, very very efficient. And these war wagons now in hand combat versus musketeers, which isn't really something that should happen to a sort of a ranged cavalry unit like a dragoon. But because war wagons move so slowly, they're not able to get out of range. And here, getting absolutely yes.
Getting dumped on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been better off just trying to run his war wagons in that situation.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, the skirms were dead to rights. He could have like tried to kite with them as much as possible, but certainly, saving as many of the war wagons as possible would have been very, very beneficial. But
and I think that was the defining moment of the game. That really does puts the Japanese player in the lead. There are no units here to protect Germany's economy, and that fight, I think, as I mentioned, was defining and is clearly put Japan into the lead.
Yeah, that's got him in the driver's seat here for sure. And I just don't think there's ever going to be enough reinforcing units, especially enough anti-cav. I mean, war wagons are clunky and slow to train, and there are so many Nagys out on the map right now that it's going to be hard to get enough war wagons to deal with those.
He just doesn't have enough buildings to make the units he needs.
Yeah.
And now that the units are here, there's no way your villagers aren't gathering, and even if you did have the buildings, you can't make the units anyway because there's no resources incoming. King of Osman just all he has to do now is sit on top of these mills. But having said that, we do see some Black Riders. He does manage to squeeze them out from somewhere, and they, but there's still quite and some skirmishes.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough.
No,
He still doesn't have any villagers gathering, and and Japan will have units reinforcing.
Yeah. And this is the point where Japan can just like Ashy out. Like when in doubt, Ashy out. Just like spam Ashies and stand on top of his eco. That's all he really needs to do here. Now another decent flank, getting up in on the skirmishers. And I think that's going to be it. Well, kill the skirms. There you go. Shoot him. Kill him.
Oh no! What a game though! Went from several swings. Pretty good.
Yeah, it was really back and forth. There were points in the game where I think either side could have won, and just I guess some of it was just the nature of the map and the way that the coin mines worked out. And it always depended on who was being forced onto the new thing. Once Bababu had to start building plantations, he really ran out of steam, and once the Japanese player had to transition off cherries and stuff like that, he started running out of steam. And there was kind of this back and forth in the middle of the game where both players were just trying to get enough control on the map to just make units, regardless of what kind of units they were, just make stuff. And it looks like Japan has finally prevailed, and a lot of that helps that he's got shrines and cheaper rice paddies and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be a help. And now we can see he's just bulldozing his way into the German players' eco, and I think we can expect to see a GG here pretty quick.
I think so as well.
Yep, there it is. Game number 1
GG.
going to King Osman.
Game number 1.
That was actually a really close game, really long game.
That was a really fun one.
Close. Yeah.
I am gonna Alt F4 out. Put in my thingy. Speaking of,
put it in your thing.
You remember to fix your sound, or is it fixed?
No, I need to fix it.
wow, Interjection's gonna put his thingy in. That sounds
Right. What's the next map?
Hudson Bay. Here we go. Say, sun's out, guns out. Let them rip. We've settled into a French mirror, perhaps.
that was quite the change. We went from Ottoman Iroquois to just
To
a
French
sort of
mirror.
a gentleman's French mirror.
It seems that used to be like the thing to do back in like fan patch days too, right? Like if you couldn't agree on a matchup, it was just like, let's just play like this gentleman's agreement to like play a French mirror.
Scrappy, dirty Ottoman Iroquois backyard nasty.
Yep.
I don't know where I'm going with this. To
Too many adjectives.
Sophisticated French mirror.
Yes, indeed.
Does this say something about us as a community? The fact that we've like pinned down like these
The gentleman's agreement civs.
Well, these stronger civs as being sort of like you're a dirty cheat, or you play a real civ. Sort of like the community feels that way. Like, what does that say about us?
I don't know. I think it's fine, honestly, to play the other civs. Like, they're interesting, like, and they're better. Like, why especially in a competitive environment, why wouldn't you want to play the best civ?
Yeah, but it reduces. I guess it reduces variety because they are that good.
Yep.
I guess that's the argument, but I see your point. Yeah, in the left hand side of the map, though, in the color red, we do have Bababoo playing as the French. And going for that early trading post here. Difference is, though, King of Osmane, despite starting with enough wood to do so, has opted to go for a market and hunting dog. So a deviation in the two French players' builds already. Perhaps that's as a result of the coin, or the coin treasury found. 50 coin certainly does make getting hunting dogs a lot easier, and as a result of finding that, could have influenced his decision.
Yeah, look at how early he got it to 1 minute and 2 seconds. That's a really nice bonus, really early on. And it could perhaps even mean that he gets a gang saw upgrade before his age up in as well. So that would perhaps be worth it. I mean,
especially with this 80 food treasure he's picking up. Jeez.
Off the back of that, I mean, assuming his macro's been decent, which it looks like it has been, he should have no issues with getting gang sub before his 14 CDB age up. Sam, are you here?
Hi.
Hey, what do you reckon about this matchup? It's a matchup you've played a couple times, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Samwise.
I think the TP starts better.
You think TP starts better?
Yeah.
Despite the coin?
Yeah, despite the coin, I'm pretty sure TP. If you can get a TP age 1, it's almost always better.
What happens if the green French player, because of his market start, gets up a little bit earlier and drops down like a Rax and a stable up here and just like sieges down the TP and has a 20-second age up advantage or something like that? 10-second age up advantage.
Oh, what if he does a 13 vil?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm honestly not sure. That could work. But I mean, the other thing that he could happen is if he can get the gang saw upgrade before aging, he can then just drop a TP in age, like in transition, and he's probably only missed a few routes on the trade post, so
yeah,
he wouldn't be that far behind in XP.
Yep, it definitely is something worth considering.
I don't know if you saw that. They had a scout fight going on, and King of Osmane just let him go. He could have easily killed his scout.
Where's oh yeah, they're both
Gentleman's agreement. I'm telling you, but that's where
we've just decided like we're gonna play by the rules. Everyone's gonna play nice.
Yep, gentleman's agreement. But yeah, I see what you're saying with the trading post being better. Of course, it ramps into the shipments.
So he is going to drop his trade post right now. He didn't get gang saw.
Yeah, he didn't get gang saw. Perhaps could have. One thing that is worth mentioning about Bababoo as well is that he did age up with 13 CDBs, but he must have cut something, because if you take a look at his upgrades, like he must have gotten a good wood treasure. Yeah, he got the 100 wood treasure, which allowed him to get the hunting dogs, but he's still aging up a bit confusing. Slower.
He's aging slower with 13 vils.
Yeah, which is, well, he must have like stopped to mine some gold or chop some wood so that he could get his market down, and then realized that he was going to be up really, really slow, and so just like stopped on 13 and idled for quite some time. But yeah, it's definitely some strange interaction that we missed there happened, because his early game does appear to be a bit off, despite the fact that he does have both a market and a trading post up very, very early.
Yeah, I mean, King of Osmane has got the same upgrades quicker than him, and he's aging quicker with one more Vil.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah, but he did not have the trading post nearly as early.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't make too much of a difference.
No, as you mentioned, it probably won't. I do like the fact that King of Osmane has decided to put down his stuff here forward a little bit. Oops, hopefully it's not me lagging. Oh, it is me lagging. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I think it's me lagging, like I just randomly had a lag spike, but looks like we're back online. Well, it didn't actually ever drop or anything. But yeah, I do like the fact that King of Osmane, especially due to the fact that he is up earlier, is putting a couple Vils forward, and it looks like he is going to dial up the pressure very early on here. Has his barracks coming down, yeah. Oh,
Double Rex.
Dual Rex.
Oh, wow, okay, and he's got placer mines, so this doesn't look like any sort of crossbow pike pressure, just musketeers.
No, it's going to be a musket rush,
Yeah, is definitely the thing to expect here. But, King of Osmane going into Age 2 with a one extra villager advantage and a really nice early hunting dogs and his trading post as well. In a little bit of an advantage before we're starting here. Now going to be ramping on the pressure. Can he turn sort of this early advantage into even more of an advantage by really sort of pressuring maybe Bab, as we mentioned earlier, that trading post, he knows it's there, and certainly the hunts, which don't look right next to Bobaboo's town centre.
Yeah,
he did a really poor job of herding that herd of deer.
Yeah, fortunately it doesn't matter that much. I mean, dual Rex musket pressure against
700 wood does come out.
Isn't that great, just due to the fact that CDBs have so much range resistance, and it does get spotted very early on here, so Bobaboo's going to be able to react against it accordingly. Probably going to have to drop down a second Rex of his own, and have to be very careful with how he defends these hunts, though, as you mentioned, because he does have a bit of exposed Vils here, but I think he should be fine. He should be able to drop down a second Rex, should be able to maybe even ship something like 8 crossbows and stabilize just fine off the back of this.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to kill Minutemen. Oh, he's
Musketeers coming in, getting a few shots in there for free whilst King of Osmane was targeting that house. Does manage to pick off 2 Musketeers here. Maybe a third one with that, that Explorer in hand combat, slowing him down here. And
pretty
actually,
good use of the Explorer there.
Yeah,
really
Bobaboo going from what looked like sort of a really defensive position to one where he's pushing King of Osmane back.
Yeah, Bobaboo just turned up in that fight.
What a lad.
What a lad. There's this lad terminology that nobody understands, once again.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch on. I just wanted to mention about the XP thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like King of Osmane did have enough XP. He's actually ahead in XP at the moment.
Yeah, interestingly enough.
So he still had. I mean, basically, with a TP, you have like 2 shipments in queue when you hit age 2 with French with an age 1 TP, and it looks like he was able to do that as well, even with the later TP.
Yeah, so looks like he's okay. Also popping out some crossbows here in this next batch. The one thing I really like about Bobaboo is look at where that scout is. That scout has got perfect vision of exactly what's going on versus...
Come on, Osmane, bring your Explorer up here. Oh, it would see the scout, but also be, really quite relevant in the fight.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to be coming in again. What do you think of all this waiting around? First of all, target that house, which has now been repaired. Perhaps go ahead and straight for those villages, or even that trading post may have been better. And now all of these sort of units sort of idle up here. They could be, harassing that trading post. What is he waiting for?
Yeah, well, I think he was trying to get a little bit of a raid in with his Hussar there on the south-hand side before he pushed in, but got shut down immediately by the musket standing in the correct spot. And that could be a little bit deceptive, though, because he only had 3 Hussar, which could make it look like a 3 Hussar shipment, where in fact it was just 3 trained Hussar. So that may put Bobaboo on the back foot, maybe thinking,
ooh, new meta.
Yeah. Well, it may make him think like, do I really want to push out because my opponent could have just shipped 3 Hussar, like he's investing very heavily into military, and it might be like a bit risky to push out, but you know, we know that he's trained those 3 Hussar, so there's going to be basically 600 less resources worth of muskets in his army than he was maybe, although maybe he has that knowledge perfectly scouted as well. I mean, he does have his scout standing right outside the Raxes of King of Osmane, so
that scout has been huge. It's kept him in the game. He could have lost like without that scout, honestly.
Yeah, he knows exactly what the unit composition of his opponent is, and it's allowing him to make the correct military units behind it, allowing him to know that he needs to ship his 8 crossbowmen shipment and stuff like that. So definitely good for him.
Yep. Here now going to come in and harass the house again. Can Bobabu get off a free volley against the house? Doesn't look like he can. King of Osmane not going to take any damage here, but both players seem to have very even military unit counts. In fact, Bobabu are slightly ahead.
Yeah, and if he calls Minutemen here, I mean, he'll crush this fight. It's just up to Osmane to make sure he doesn't overcommit into the fight. An important interaction, of course, the trading post for Bobabu did go down, so Osmane is going to continue to trickle ahead in terms of XP the longer this fight goes on, and if it stalls out to the point long enough where he can get an extra military shipment in, or just an extra shipment or 2 in general, could find himself in a really strong position. Plus, we do have to take into consideration that he does have pretty good map control with the current state of where he's standing. He knows basically where everything is, and that's going to be very helpful.
He actually moved his scout for some reason. He had it in the perfect spot.
Yeah, probably...
Where's Osmane going? Oh, he's going back, sending his entire army back to defend against this Hussar. Let's see.
That's such an annoying Hussar.
It is. But, King of Osmane has map presence right now. Yeah. And what do you think of just dumping down 2 more trading posts, getting the upgrade? Because here, you're fairly even on military population. You could, slow down a little bit. And since you sort of have that, you can just get this sort of economic advantage, and then suddenly Bobabu has to make something happen.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely... Oh, these Hussar are going to kind of get trapped here a little bit.
That was a shipment.
What about sneaking up to the next stage as well? Either player could do that at this point, don't you think? They've both got sort of enough army to not die immediately, and if one of these 2 players sneak up to the next stage and have access to those skirmishes, which sort of hard counter everything, well, effectively the musketeers, you then suddenly have a massive advantage, right?
Yeah, but currently with the state of where the militaries are right now, like if one player tries to age and the other just slams out pure units, that guy's going to just crush a fight, and it would be a bit risky.
And you're giving up complete map control by aging out.
Yep.
And it's very difficult to do that without...
after this fight, he could definitely look to age up.
Yeah.
Looks like Bobabu's winning quite handily.
Yep. That's always the best time to look to age up, is after you've won a decisive fight, but you don't really have enough stuff to just end the game immediately off of the push. It's a really good time to build a tech advantage. And as Sam mentioned, this fight is going really good for Bobabu. Minutemen coming in from the back even. Looks like he wants to bust this contain now.
Yeah, it's a good time to do it. He's running fairly low on hunt.
Yeah, and that's the concern, right? I mean, even his coin mines are starting to look a little bit thin. He really needs to get out of his base at some point. It looks like this is going to be the time to do it. And certainly now that King of Osmane, has been kind of pushed back, his infrastructure here becomes quite a big liability that he's going to have to worry about moving forward. But,
losing. I mean, he can't afford to lose these buildings.
It's 600 resources that he just doesn't really have, and the longer this kind of skirmish goes on in the middle of the map, the better things are looking for Bobabu. He's continuing to push back, continuing to kill units, continuing to reinforce really well behind this. Looks like he's turning around and running a little bit now, but.
He could have just stood and fought.
I think he could. Yeah, I think he could have been okay as well. They're just standing.
But equally. Maybe concerned about being next to his opponent's buildings where the units are created, but certainly could stand there until they arrive and then leave. But at this point, he's pushed out. He's secured the more hunt, which was sort of what he was running low on, or he's no, that's not. Well, he is gathering hunt.
Yeah, he's still got hunt, and he's transitioned down here to the south a little bit, although he is running from the south, also trickling in a little bit of units. But at the same time, these 3 Hussar. if they see the vills on the coin mine, that's going to be so annoying to deal with, because he's going to have to basically send back all of his army to deal with that. And yeah. Here it comes.
But he needs to be pushing forward right now. If
Yep.
he pushes forward with the muskets right now, like pressure him on 2 fronts.
Yep, that would be really good.
If you pressure the muskets whilst the raiders.
He's got 4 hussar to deal with that, so he's fine.
Yeah, they popped out of the stable and they.
But I mean, what Bobaboo just did there was so sloppy. He basically had the game in his hands right there, and he just let like 10 muskets die for no reason. Stopped pressuring when he had the advantage, and now all of a sudden it's even again.
Yeah, and King of Osman, I mean, he still has that middle portion of the map under his control. So the longer this game goes, just resource-wise.
So these units walking around a lot. Do have a straight-up musket fight though on very even sort of military unit counts. In fact, Bobaboo only slightly ahead. King of Osman, and on the retreat now, and going to be losing units as he walks back. And I think having the extra few units and the retreat now translating into being firmly in the lead again has clawed that back.
Yeah, and this time he just needs to push all the way forward. Just needs to
kill
end
those
it. Like,
buildings.
he can just perfect. Just kill all those muskets.
Popping on the wrong side, can't sneak through the gap. There is no gap between those barrackses.
Oh man,
there's so many musks.
They're just trapped in there. Like there was nowhere for them to run. And yeah, now Bobaboo has a very clear advantage.
Got some hussar coming in the back there to distract him.
Yep.
Yeah,
well,
but
I think he can afford just to lose all those now. Like he's got such a military advantage out the front of King Osman's base that he can just continue to push forward here. Even if he loses 5 or 6 CDB to this raid, it probably doesn't matter, just due to the fact that he's got a insurmountable unit advantage at this point.
And then he
just
kills
needs to control his
these
units well.
forward
I don't
buildings.
know what he's doing right now.
Yeah, those musketeers on the front creeping forward. But he does have the presence here to deflect off King of Osman's units and kill off all these forward military buildings. He is now slightly behind in terms of villages, but only 2 vills. Having said that, King of Osman has got eco theory working for him in the back all this time, but I don't think it's going to be too relevant because once all these units go down and these buildings on the front go down, Bobaboo is going to be able to control the map and deny Osman's ability to gather the resources anyway, despite having more of them or more efficient villages. And as Zuta says, and as we can clearly see, the GG has been called.
Hey.
Out right off the bat. Osman mad.
Got a bit of Mancle tilting coming.
Yeah, that could translate right into the Mancle drop 04. Win the first game, get tilted with 1 bad fight, and then immediately proceed to smash into the next 3 games and just pulls you down so hard.
That's funny.
Alright, let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 3 in this series. The score is currently 1-1. We do now have, we've chucked the gentleman's agreement aside. We have the scrappy backyard, back alley, Ottoman versus Iroquois. Nasty stuff here. It's going to be interesting, though. 2 of the most competitive civilizations being played here. Interestingly, on Mongolia, both civilizations very trading post dependent, and this map actually with the trading post on the other end of the map, and the choice to be made of gathering more cows or getting a trading post super early.
So he does get the livestock from the farm, which is quite.
Oh wow. Yeah, and I guess is his priority just yaks here then? Starting with the travois for the farm. Does that make Iroquois so much better than on this map than other civs?
This is honestly one of the best Iroquois maps.
Yeah.
And not only do you get a free livestock, but you get more XP from the building as well.
Yeah, we've mentioned this before, this used to be the standard back in Fan Patch days as well, right? Or for any matter. I mean, back in Fan Patch 1.0, when Iroquois were definitely the top civ, this was the standard way to play, just because of the amount of XP you get from that farm. You can still get the farm upgrade, which affects hunting, which is really, really good. And you don't, on this map, you hate to say waste time building a trading post, because anytime you have a trading post, obviously it's good. But if you do run your explorer to the top of the map, like we can see Osman has done, you do forgo a lot of time gathering cows, and as a result, your opponent can get a really big cow advantage. And so we'll have to see whether or not that becomes a factor here.
So he's already got 8 cows on the livestock pen.
Yeah,
they're going to be fat, like
that's monstrous.
pretty quickly. Yeah.
It's really, really good.
And especially on such a low hunt map.
So that does conclude game number 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Not quite that good, but it is. It's really, really good. It's definitely a huge advantage. I wonder if Ottoman could. I mean, Otto starts with so much wood, right? That they could drop a pen too. Like instead of that trading post, he could have just dropped a pen and like gone after all the yaks and just penned like 12 yaks or something like that.
Could have, yeah.
What do you reckon about that? Do you think that's any good?
Probably not. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's just, it's so hard to really know. You'd have to test it a lot, but you could get a lot of units out if you had like a really strong timing push where you sent like 700 coin, 600 coin, and just 8 yaks, and have 3 vills gathering yaks, everything else gathering coin, and just like timing push Jan Abis really hard.
We said it before, right? Ottoman's really dependent on some other source of income, whether it be a big trading route or the XP for shipments. For the crates, that is what I mean. Yeah, but it is really lots of penned yaks, that kind of thing. I mean, it is a big food boost, but it's not available to you instantly. You have to wait for them to fatten. Whereas the crates sort of spread themselves out over time and. Obviously, there's that established sort of meta game, and King of Osman going to be comfortable sending crates, knowing what he's doing. Do you think a livestock pen really compares to that?
Well, it's definitely not as sustainable either, right? Like you're going to get that one-time huge super boost, and then it's going to be gone. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Like the person that you would really want to execute this kind of build would be Emil. Honestly, it seems like the kind of thing he would do, right? Like works it out perfectly. You could get a lot of Jan and Abis out, and whether or not you were able to, that's what it's going to come down to, right? Is whether or not you can snowball that huge amount of Jan and Abis into some sort of really strong early advantage.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know the timing of when the yaks would be fat.
Yep. And whether or not you could actually make some sort of meaningful push off of those fat yaks. But either way, Bababoo did age up very, very quickly with his 15 pop age up. Has put down a corral, interestingly enough, with his first military building. So
that is really interesting, especially in the line of sight of him.
Yep. His opponent 100% knows about it, knows that there's going to be...
hey, I'm building a stable.
Yep.
Is effectively what that does, yeah. All right. What does this tell us?
Well, it tells us that he's probably going to semi-FF. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it is really hard to rush the Ottoman player, especially if he's doing some sort of FF build like he is here. I don't think you can really stop the auto FF, a straight auto FF, just by applying pressure. And so it looks like maybe he's going to try some sort of cav-based approach where he's going to raid around a little bit and just slow him down and do something like 5 vills, 600 coin, and age himself with a semi-FF. It could be okay.
And push off the back of the shipments with this massive food boost, which should be about ready as he's wanting to push in and have reinforcing units.
The one batch of Kanye, yeah.
That's disappointing. Very sad.
Pretty rough.
Just a scout.
Yeah. A fairly expensive scout, that is.
Indeed.
Does he have more in queue? Yeah, he does. It just looks like he missed his batch there, or I perhaps didn't have the wood to get them all in queue.
Yeah, but either way, the surprise factor was ruined to start with anyway, so it's not like it's really going to matter. And as I mentioned, it's going to be hard for any sort of pressure to really be meaningful here anyways, and we can see that.
If you check there, the yaks actually are already fat. 2 of them are fat already.
Oh, yeah.
The others are very close, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure a livestock fattens them even quicker.
It does, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the farm fattens them at the same rate as the Chinese village does, so... you imagine a 5-minute timing push just backed by cows and coin shipments from Otto. I think it could be really good.
Yeah.
Yes, could be really good.
Maybe
is the
that's
exact kind of thing that Emil would do.
Yeah, it is.
Funny that you mentioned that.
But you remember, like, in the tournament that he played Orc in the finals, and like everyone was like so sure that like the Euro build had been like well established, and then he just randomly did like this stable build and just like won in 6 minutes, like 3 games in a row. Worst finals of an age tournament ever.
Yeah, that is what he was always good at.
Yeah, just coming up with some like new sneaky build that like just beat the current metagame really hard. But either way, looks like Osmane is on his way up, is currently progressing towards the 3rd age. Does have down his barracks as well.
He's aging with the marksman as well, which is the 4 Avis, I think.
Yep, that is correct. As opposed to, how do you feel about that versus the Scout age up? I mean, the Scout age up gives 4 Hussar. I feel like they.
I definitely prefer the Avis for sure.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. Just because the Jan Avis ball of the units is so strong.
Yeah, and certainly you can roll that into upgrades and stuff in the 3rd age and make them even stronger. But I don't know. I've always just been a little bit more in favor of the Cav, I guess, just due to the fact that they give you some raiding pressure early on, allow you to stop raids and stuff like that a little bit easier.
Would be pretty good against cavalry here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like imagine if you had like 4 Hussar here, you'd be able to shut down this raid no problem. But it looks like he's not going to have any real issues anyways. So.
The Abbas guns do complement the Janissaries rather nicely, and no doubt we'll be seeing well, not more Abbas guns specifically, unless he ships them since this is an FF, but certainly has a big ball of units starting to grow pretty quick, and really it's a question of will Bobaboo be able to sort of out efficiency him with the resources that he's going to be having, all these extra food compared to all the extra shipments.
I think the problem Iroquois is going to have here is he's aging slow because he's already fast aged, and he's just dropped his war hat now. I was going to say he's going to have no war hat for when he hits H3.
Yeah, that would have been a bit awkward. He has a lot of resources unspent right now as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how he's going to actually spend those, because he's not gathering any wood, which makes me think like. I guess he could just do a whole bunch of big buttons or something like that, but tomahawks definitely aren't the way that he's going to be able to deal with, this big...
Well, I imagine he's going to go for musket riders and whatever the skirm units are called.
Forest prowlers.
That's it.
That's the ticket.
I mean, I would like to see him keep up the raiding here, just to, stop Osmane from pushing him, because he's so vulnerable.
2 Falconets have arrived, and I think that signals go time for King of Osmane. Bobaboo only just really going to have just hit up by the time this pressure hits.
Yeah.
And that, it could leave him vulnerable. Thankfully, he, it's not like he's only just started aging or he's halfway through aging or something. He is going to be up, and he will be able to send a shipment to start defending. But this is a really good time for Osmane to be pushing in. And, this could result in losing the corral. And it could result in perhaps losing a longhouse, and it just could be difficult for Bobaboo to defend against this. That is a very large army, and that is the strength of the Ottoman Fast Fortress.
No matter what Civ you are, this is always a difficult timing to deal with. And this is why Ottoman are so strong in quick search, right? Like, you can do a build like this where you just basically straight FF, make only Janissaries, upgrade them to veteran status, and push when your 2 Felks come, and it's really freaking hard to beat no matter what Civ you're playing. And
it's really freaking easy to do no matter who you are.
It's pretty darn easy to accomplish, and pretty hard to mess up. So looks like he is going to go back here a little bit though.
Maybe waiting on the Mamelukes before he wants to commit.
He hasn't shipped 1k coin though yet. Oh yeah,
there
he
it
did
is.
just ship.
But there's no other reason to retreat here. I mean, if it was a military shipment, that'd be arriving pretty soon, keeping the pressure up. But 1,000 coins slows you down for an entire shipment, and you don't get that sort of pushback. You don't get that tempo back until the Mamelukes hit. And maybe that's what he's concerned about. But I think here he could get away with maybe sieging down a longhouse before pushing out, or maybe just get away with staying there.
Yeah, it's important that you mention the Mamelukes though here as well, because if we consider what just happened in the game, he did just take down the corral, and so if his opponent wants to have meaningful anti-cavalry, he's going to have to rebuild his corral and start to train musket riders. If we take a look at the composition here for Bobaboo right now, there are no anti-cavalry units in this mix, and as a result of that, when the Mamelukes do hit, which is, I mean, still going to be some time away, right? He still needs like another little bit of XP.
And here he's sort of stuck out in the middle of the map here without, you know, a military shipment. It's just that 1,000 coin, which isn't relevant right now, and he is a little bit vulnerable. Those cannons are, you know, we've seen control. The King of Osmane's controlling flaming arrows in the previous game, and it looks like these cannons are going to get fairly low HP and possibly sniped down. Cannons are neutralized, and now this massive Jans is not very useful. There's nothing for them to really protect, and suddenly
the Mams are going to be
in a good
any
spot.
second. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just sent, but they take so long to send. I mean, he's still got a lot of time. He's got a pretty good forest prowler mass, taking down a lot of these gens. Like you mentioned, I mean, the MAMs are definitely being sent. We can see he did acquire the XP required, but they do take some time. And I mean, but you're right. Like, just look at what he has in terms of anti-cav.
Yeah.
He's got no way to deal with Mamelukes.
He's gonna get spanked.
I mean, he's going to have to call the second big button. That's his only option. Right?
Alright, guys, this is what he does. When the Mamelukes arrive, he puts all his forest prowlers in stealth mode, and none of them die.
That's actually viable.
It'd buy him some time. We can see he's reestablished the corral back in his base, but he probably needs a minimum of 15 musket riders. And look, even the Minutemen being called, this is the all-in make it or break it push here by King of Osmane. He's got no more wood being gathered. He's not intending on building another house this game. I think he intends to win on this push, and this push alone.
The question is, can he do it? And also, the other question is, would he have been able to do it better if he'd managed to keep all his units alive? Kept, you know, the cannons? Well, obviously the answer is yes. But if he'd had his cannons and everything back in his town nice and safe,
this push
can he do it?
Has
he lost too much tempo
I don't think
from
these
losing the
Mams
cannons?
they're not going to be enough to win this game. I'm pretty sure.
There is still no anti-cav.
With the cuirassiers and
I mean,
some
these forest
cavalry
prowlers
now.
are so strong. He can just kite with them forever.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, they can go invisible. I mean, they're the one skirm unit that can go invisible, so...
Yeah, why not, eh?
Might as well.
Yeah. Here we go, gonna slam them in. How much damage can this really do, though? With the cuirassiers mixed in, and they are, you know, gonna maybe tank some of the damage if the Mamelukes aren't being tasked on the skirms, and certainly they do a reasonable amount of damage to the Mamelukes, considering Mamelukes have a 40% range resist, and therefore take no melee resists here. King of Osmane resigns.
It's just they're gonna die too quick. I mean, they're just not in a good enough position.
Yeah. What a shame.
Yeah.
Now, what if he kept the cannons alive?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the current position in the fight, right, like, obviously 2 Felks sitting on the left blasting through those forest brawlers are exactly what he needs right now, and unfortunately that's not what he has, and his Mamelukes are just dying too quickly. There
was just no way he needed to lose those cannons there either.
Yeah.
He had so many Jans to protect them.
Yeah.
And there was like 7 unupgraded Kanye.
Yep. He just needs to make a smarter decision during that time. But he's either got to commit to that push right there and not send 1k coin and like send something like 5 Hussar or 5 Abyss or something else that's going to help him win the fight, win the push right now, or else he's got to just go back, stand underneath this town center, wait for the Mamelukes, and then push everything in with that big death ball at the same time. One of those two things needs to happen.
That is the end of the game, though. Thank you very much for watching, and don't go anywhere. We have game number 4 coming up in just a moment.
See, that would be a game that would like severely confuse my father. He's like, well, like, there's 2 armies still standing there. Like, why did he resign? I don't get it. He'll probably watch this and like get mad at me.
Do you reckon he? You said he like watches them through.
He does. He loves interjection videos. He's like a big fan. King of Oslame. Someone put. It's pretty funny.
So yeah, the tilt is real right now.
Yeah, we got the Mankle tilt.
Mankle tilt in full force right now.
Next map. Kamchatka.
I love this one.
Yeah, we haven't done that map in a while.
Is this game 3 or 4?
I think I love
This is number
Manchuria more though.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 4 in this best of 7 series between King of Oslame and Bobabu. We do have the Ottoman versus Germans. Osmane taken Ottoman for another spin, and we did convert Osmane, King of Osmane, King of the Ottoman is in Turkish, I believe, which I've been corrected is a language. Whoops.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was a language.
Yeah, you're right. You got me. So yes, King of Osmane playing as the Ottomans here in the sort of south right-hand side of the map. See, it's so much easier to use is the left and right. I'm telling you.
Did you put up the post-its yet?
No, I haven't put up the post-its.
That's the way that you're gonna have to do it.
One day.
I like how Bobabu just killed the sheep and then decided to leave it.
Which
Couldn't be
sheep?
bothered to herd them. The bighorn sheep. Because they
got-
just run away, they're a pain in the ass.
He's got one. He's got one of them.
Oh yes, I believe H2O calls these the Gaia goats.
Yeah, that's it.
Why?
Yeah.
Where's the other one that's dead? Or is it just the one?
No, he left it, but then his build came out onto it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Maybe they're like the new capybaras.
Look,
just
they're the most annoying herds. Look how far away that ran.
They're hard to control and don't always do what you want them to. Hence the Gaia goats.
Look at this one. Look at this here. Look how far
Yeah,
those two are.
They're actually so far away.
Yeah.
Wow. Do they herd like normal animals do? Like
Yeah,
if you
they
shoot
herd
them, do they run?
properly. You basically have to try and kill all of them really quickly
Yeah.
so they can't run away.
This reminds me a bit of Age of Empires Online, where you just randomly take your scout and murder all of your hunt into.
That's actually exactly what you did. Like, there was no decay in that game, and so you just straight up killed every hunt because like they wandered around so much over the course of the game that it was beneficial to lose scouting time to just kill your hunt right as it stood, just so that it wouldn't roam around.
And I wish that was a feat, like, if there was another Age of Empires game, or if I could change AOE3. I personally, I think it does decrease the sort of skill cap, but I think it's still a good thing, because herding and back herding is just so dumb. Like, herd them into a position you want, kill them all, and then they don't wander around, and if they don't decay, that would be fine, but you can't do that because they do.
I like the herding in this game. Obviously, without back herding would be better. But...
Yeah, there should be no radius to how far often you can like shoot it. Like you should be able to.
Yeah, but the fact you have to pay so much attention to, like, you know, that your villagers randomly finishing on a hunt, standing up and shooting them away from your TC. Like, I feel like that's silly as well.
That's what you want. Like, that makes the game. It like increases the skill cap.
Yeah, it does, but it's not for a good reason. Like, you should increase the skill cap in other areas, but I just feel like that's not where the skill cap should be. That's just an awkward part of the game that makes it less accessible to new players.
I don't know. I disagree. I think that's something you should keep an eye on.
Maybe like a nice middle ground would be just to decrease the decay rate, and so that like if you wanted to just kill all of your hunts, like you could, and you would be punished slightly less for it, but it would still be more optimal to keep them alive and continue to control them properly.
But yeah, well, yeah, all right. Well, we've stated our opinions on that. What do we have going on right now? Ottoman aging hella quickly compared to Germany,
and
as
he
always.
has 2 trading posts already as well. It's going to be
How did he
absolutely
get that up? He
must have found a bunch of food. Yeah.
He started with 400, and then I think he's found another 100.
Yeah. And then that would explain it. Yeah, he collected 10 extra wood and managed to get that. But at the expense of a house, then did he get the? So he built
a TP in a house, and then he got.
And then he got this one in transition.
No,
I think he got it in Age 1 still.
Yeah.
And still ages this much faster than Germany. Ottoman, wow.
He only had to gather 10 wood. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fun civ. And like he's just gonna FF again. I mean, we can see aging up with the outpost, with the 200 coin as well. I think it's going to be a more aggressive variation here. I think he is anticipating that his opponent is going to do some sort of fortress-based build as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see that outpost go down like right up here on this coin mine, secure the middle portion of the map, and use it as a jumping off point to do some sort of aggressive FF play this time around.
Well, I feel like that's exactly what you should do every game as Ottoman.
Yeah, well,
It's really slow aging up as well this game.
Yeah, he did an 18 pop age up by the looks of it.
Do you think like Germany struggles versus Ottoman? I mean, like with the lack of musketeer, there's no like you can't really. Well, I guess you could make crossbow, but you really don't want to for a defense. You want to do some sort of fortress-based play, and with the Ottoman fast fortress pressure coming in so quickly, does Germany just struggle versus Ottoman?
I'm hoping he would just do. I don't know what he's. I'm not sure what he's doing here, but he basically needs to FF himself.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna like slug it out in Age 2, just like play a straight Age 2 game. And unless no, it can't be straight FFing. I don't know. It's hard to say. He's building both a Rax and a stable, which like shows to me that he has intentions of staying in Age 2, but at the same time he has 0 wood and he's overpopped himself. So
equally though, these buildings are the exact ones you'd want in the Fortress Age.
Yeah.
Perhaps he will be making his way up. We'll have to find out based on his next shipment. It is 3 villages.
Ooh, he could slow down this Rax if he catches it with these 2 Ulans. At least, pressure that villager a little bit. That villager's in a bit of an awkward spot. Can make him run around.
Oh wow, that was pretty cool. Did you see that?
Yeah, it pops it in and out.
Sweet pop.
Yeah. There's no way that villager's gonna die. But if that villager had gone down, this Rax being delayed, that's almost game. If that villager died, that's almost game changing because the resources would stack up for Osmane, and it would take so long to finally spend them all without having the barracks down at this precise moment.
Yeah, and I mean, like the Ottoman player here is on a wood count as well, right? He's gathered the amount of wood that he wants. He's got obviously an extra 200 wood for his upgrade and the amount of houses that he wants. But and so having to slow that down a little bit would be annoying as well for him.
Certainly would.
This is a bizarre build from Bob RB.
It looks like it is a colonial one though. So having sent 700 wood behind this, he's now going to add in the houses and certainly needs the population. Is using some of the wood to make crossbowmen by the looks of it, adding in a second barracks. The advantage is that he does have some raiding presence with these cavalry, but the disadvantage is he spent 200 wood on a stable and quite a lot of resources on cavalry, which are really not going to be very relevant versus Janissaries.
Osman is aging with the scout as well.
The scout, they pop out. There they are. He is in hand combat here, having to send some of the Ulans back. Nicely, well, unfortunately, does lose some cav for free. Does Bobabu.
Yeah, so, I mean, Red's eco is really good here. I mean, he has sent 3 CDB, or 3 settler wagons, rather, and 700 wood. But, as you mentioned, like, he is nowhere near aging. He's not going to be aging. And it looks like, as I mentioned, he's just going to be slugging it out in Age 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's committed to Age 2 at this point.
Yeah, although that 700 coin is a little awkward as well. I guess he's going to use it just to get out more units.
Yeah, I mean,
but what units do you get out with it? I mean, the only interesting one is Ulan that you could make with coin, and that's not hugely useful against what Ottoman is making.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Doppels. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is that even is that useful either?
I mean, he's going to need something to deal with the 2 Falconet shipment when it comes, and so that could be.
He has nothing to beat Vet Jams with.
Yeah, I mean, crossbows aren't going to cut it, right?
Alright, so it makes sense. He does need the cav for the... Maybe he was expecting Ottoman to play some sort of colonial-based agenda, and it was hoping the cavalry would be useful versus Abbas guns.
Yeah.
But certainly they will be needed against the Ottoman cannons. But yeah, as you say, what does he do against Janissaries? Crossbowmen, I mean, they're okay, especially off the back of wood shipments, but making them is not very cost effective.
Yeah, and now look at, here comes the 2 Falconet shipment, and just look at the army compositions. There's like no way that 12 crossbows and 9 Ulans is ever going to beat 19 Vet Jans, 2 Falcons, and 4 Hussar. It's quite
bizarre, the difference in like, how is he so far behind in units and an age behind?
Yeah. But why isn't he pushing? Is he waiting for his coin again? Is he making no mistakes this time? Going to sit in the middle of the map here. But that's exactly where he sat last game. It feels like he's not taking advantage of the absolutely...
Of what his opponent is doing, yeah.
And the overwhelming efficiency of Ottoman this early on.
Yeah. And to be fair to Bababu's credit, he has been raiding fairly well this game as well. Like, he's going to pick off another vill here. Yeah, certainly villager's not the most important thing to, you know, a successful Ottoman player, but
I mean, it's still going to make a difference.
It's a
he
difference.
holds this push.
yeah,
That's
there's
so
0
dumb.
reinforcements.
Like village, you don't need vills to auto FF. Like you actually don't. You
No skills
like
in-
the efficiency of Ottoman FF is shipments. Like it's not even villages.
Did I just hear you drop a ain't no skills in making bills? Classic says.
That's my favorite video.
Ain't no skills in making bills.
Who says that?
There's a video of this hack.
Have you not seen the Says Master and Fish rivalry?
Yeah, it's like this old like cheating vanilla player who used to post a lot of like Ottoman bills or Ottoman videos.
Basically, he had this like
Yeah.
this rivalry between this random player that probably didn't even realize he had a rivalry with. And he used to post videos of them playing against each other and just like flame him the whole time.
Yeah.
And he'd be filming his screen with his camera on his like,
On
phone
his
or something.
own desktop, yeah. It was really funny. But the guy he used to play against, Fish, always plays Ottoman, and so like anytime like he would always just drop like random one-liners like that, like ain't no skills in making bills. Like anytime he would play him, it's just really.
And
funny.
what he was like, he had like a massive like Texas accent as
Yeah,
well. which
he's
made it
like-
even better.
He's just like the stereotypical like American like white trash. Ain't no skills in making bills. It's funny. But back to the game, Bababoo does have a pretty good army out. If you take a look at the military population, he's got 69 military population. And with his rating, I mean, he's double the villager population here. So if he can fight his way through the Mamelukes, which are certainly going to be being shipped like as we speak, there's a chance. If he stabilizes, he has to get a good surround, he has to get a good fight. But if he can get a good fight, we can see Osman is all in here once again. He's, you know, overpopped himself 85 out of 70. He's very low on villagers, and now that the Mamelukes are on their way, when they arrive,
I would
it's
like to
gonna
see
be
a batch
push.
of doppels come out soon.
Yeah, it could
Gonna
be.
need some kind of
Be
anti-cap.
very strong against the Mamelukes. Yeah. At this point, you know, Germany's had a fairly long time, exactly 12 minutes, to take advantage of his 3 vill shipment that he sent very early on. You know, his efficient market upgrades that he has and King of Osman does not. In fact, even getting log flume, holy crap.
Yeah.
And making crossbows isn't even bad anymore. And, you know, at this point, Germany has, you know, a really good economy, you know, as a result of
Well, yeah, he's had
Germany
12
and
minutes of
managing
double
to
build.
and raiding. Has he been alive long enough for that economy to come into play and create an army strong enough to deal with Mamelukes, 2 cannons, and
I don't know. It's so hard. Like, you think of how much time he's had.
32
Here it
veteran
comes.
janissaries?
Here it
Yep.
comes.
Can he protect his cannons? Though we have seen King of Osman's sort of falconet control in the previous. Lots of damage. These janissaries tearing through these cavalry. Certainly, janissaries not the strongest against cavalry compared to other muskets, but adequate here, cleaning them all up, and actually this.
Yeah, and there it
This is-
is. Like, I don't know. It's just how do you, like, he tried to get to the cannons. One of the cannons still alive. It's just how do you, Otto in a nutshell. How do you deal with that? Like, just ball. Like, if look at how much time he had, and like he knew exactly what was coming. He had, and yeah, it resigns. Like nothing he can do. Like loses to the timing push.
Look at that.
It brings back a lot of bad memories.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to like play against, but fortunately for the Smackdown, rules, like now Osman can't play that Civ again, right? So it's gonna have
and
to.
Bobby can still play his German, which is one of his better civs.
Yep. Certainly can. Certainly can.
Yeah, so look at the resource difference.
I'm just staring at like how ridiculous that fight was. That was
Yeah.
I mean,
he just sat there with like.
He just suicided all of his Ulans though.
But he has to kill with going crossbows, right? Crossbows are super short range. He needs to be able to kill the 2 falconets, and if he can't,
He needs to flank. He can't just run in a straight line.
That's true. But at the same time, it's easier said than done. And when there's Mamluks to deal with as well, like there's just 3 really strong unkillable units that you have to deal with, and it's just too much to deal with unupgraded.
Well, that's the thing. You're trying so hard to kill these cannons, and then Jans just kill all your units anyway.
Yeah.
And then you've got Mams, which are untouched.
Just a bunch of super tanky, unable to kill units. Like, you're just never able to kill any of the units.
Yeah, and you like hold the alt bar and you see like almost all of his, well, like a third of his Jans are at like half health or something like that. And it just shows like they have so much health that like you spread the damage out between them if you're attack moving, and then none of them actually die, and that is problematic to say the least. But that does conclude a fairly swift game in King of Osmane's favour, bringing the score up to 2-2, I believe.
Indeed, 2 games apiece. I'll knot it up. And we're going to play Manchuria next, because it's Sam's favorite map.
I have been up for exactly 24 hours.
Oh, really? Are you not, like, just, like, dead tired?
I was earlier, but I got back and I was super hyped for Smackdown. And it's because I got up, I went to bed at, like, 6 p.m., woke up at 11 p.m., and then, like, optimized my speedrun for a bit, and then did it live. And then went to work. And now here I am, casting Smackdown after work at precisely 24 hours after I woke up from when I last went to sleep.
Yeah, I noticed that you were up at, like, a weird time. Because, like, I had just come back from, like, the gym, and that was at, like, 9 o'clock my time. And so it was, like, 5 a.m. or something for you. Like,
it was, yeah. That was, like, me halfway through my speed run. Like, as I said, I woke up at 11. That was basically the morning for me. And then we just stayed up all night.
I've never stayed up for 24 hours in my life, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I stayed up for 30 hours this one time. It was not fun.
It's actually really brutal. Like, it messes. Like, it's not just the one day that it's so bad, because, like, you feel extremely tired, but you can make it through it. It's like the next day is like recovering from it, because, like, your sleep pattern is, like, all off, and, like, because then you'll, like, want to sleep for like 14 hours or something, and then the next day, like, just it throws, like, your whole schedule into such a big tizzy. It's just, like, awkward. So
yeah, I've had, like, really bad sleep schedules, like when I was in college and playing games a lot.
Yep.
I would, like, stay up till like 4 a.m. a lot, and then, like, it just gradually gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Until the point where you have to just, like,
it
go
always
to bed
seems
early or something.
For me, it seems to creep like 2 or 3 hours each night. It sort of creeps forward. So, like, eventually you're going to bed at 2, and then 4, and then 6, and then 8. And if it kept going like that, it would, like, do this full cycle. At least that's how I felt.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's
Just
Yeah, I
keep
mean,
it was
pushing
just
it.
like,
I've had a good schedule the last few years. I go to bed at about 12:30 usually, and get up about 7.
Yeah.
And that's enough sleep for me.
Really similar to, like, what mine is. Like, I go to bed at 12 almost every night, and then wake up at 8 almost every day.
Yes.
It's, like, perfect. 8 hours of sleep. Wake up feeling, like, refreshed, and not just, like, completely, like, out of it. But I used to do the same thing as well. Like, go to bed at, like, 5, and then wake up at, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon randomly, and then, like, have to go to class, and
Yeah, it sucks.
alright, I'm gonna get this underway. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to game number 5, I believe.
Yep.
This is another gentlemanly matchup. We've reverted to France versus Germany. Certainly a fair matchup, though perhaps I feel like Germany does have a smaller advantage because of their stronger villager potential. I feel like Germany is just a better version of France that doesn't have musketeers, and that sometimes is the issue. I mean, musketeers, I'm quoting Goodspeed at this point, but musketeers, the colonial age is the gateway to the fortress age, and musketeers are certainly quite useful in the colonial age. But in this particular matchup, players do often both like to have fortress agendas, and the civilization with slightly better Vil shipments has a slightly better advantage, I suppose. But enough of that. In the north of the map, we do have Bobabu land down that trading post right away, and of course has 200 wood to do so with. And France actually not going to be doing the same thing here. He's going to be going with that market start. Osman consistently doing this with his 200 wood starts throughout the games we've seen today.
Yeah, I just want to go back and touch on a point that you mentioned, because it's so funny to me that you say like Germany is like a slightly stronger version of French, because back in like early fan patch days, we basically said the same thing except the other way around, that French is basically just a slightly stronger version of Germany, and it's strange that that as the metagame has shifted and stuff.
Well, it's basically just, it's all about the TP.
Yeah.
Like, Germany with a trade post is a different civ.
They're so good, yeah, I agree.
It makes such a huge difference.
Yep. And part of that is, just due to the fact that they do have that slower trickle rate just in general, and so they're very dependent on having those shipments. I mean, every civ is very dependent on shipments. Like, every civ needs shipments, but when you really hamper that, like with the reduction of XP that Germany has, that trading post just makes all the more difference. It kind of keeps them back up to level, and then some as well. So it is very impactful, as you mentioned, that having that trading post seems to be super beneficial for Germany especially.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, in this in this matchup, I think on a TP map, Germany has a slight advantage.
Mm-hmm.
On a non-TP map, I'm pretty sure French win quite easily.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that statement in the present state of the game.
Yeah.
Just due to the fact that Germany, without their TP, their age up just doesn't seem that good. Their age 2 really has never been they don't have that great of an age 2, right? Like, it's not like their crossbow pike rush is insane or anything like that. I mean, it's
actually really awkward, like, because you overpop so much with the Ulans, and it's just
it's average at best. And as Interjection mentioned, they don't have muskets, right? Which is kind of a gaping weakness in early age 2 play. If you look at the civs that are historically strong in the second age, it's civs that do have like a really good musket mass and a really good like musket backbone to like really stand on it. Brits, Japanese, civs like that can really just power their way through the second age just by making a lot of muskets and getting away with it just because that unit is so jack of all trades good.
There's a really big treasure advantage for King of Osman in this game as well.
What has he picked up? He's picked up 55 coin, 20 coin, 50 wood, and 85 wood. No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, and that's all. And all Bobaby's got is 100 feet so far.
Yeah. So definitely a nice little advantage there as well. But at the same time, I don't think Bababu will be too disappointed with his start. I think everything has pretty much gone as he wanted early.
If you've got a TP up in age 1, you're all good.
Yeah, that 200 wood start is so good.
It's all Gucci. But we'll see how it plays out. Looks like King of Osman is transferring some Vils over to coin now, so I'm curious to see what he'll do. Because in the first game he played French, he did kind of that strange 2 racks rush, and it almost worked, and then he just kind of lost control. Here he's going to be playing against a German player who, is fairly safe to assume is going to find his way into the third age. And so we'll have to see how he deals with that, whether or not he goes aggressive or opts for something a little more traditional, maybe just a 5-cav semi-FF and tries to match the fortress-based play himself.
So Bobaby's on another 18 Vil age up as well, so he's going to be slow.
That's a bit strange. Or is that pop just because he has one in queue?
No.
No, he does.
Maybe
yeah,
actually.
He's got 17 pop.
Yeah,
he's just got
true.
one in queue.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is still. Well, I guess it's not too slow.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4
I think
forties.
I really don't like an 18 pop age up.
Yeah,
So
it slows you down to like over 5 minutes. With Germany, it feels pretty awkward.
this is something you never want to do. Never put your yaks on top of your TC when your crates spawn, because it just separates them all. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially when you consider like the settler wagon is walking around so much. It's so much gather time that he's losing there.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm overwhelmingly tired. It hit me all at once, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just you're sitting there and you hear words and you're just like.
I'm like hearing Age of Empires, like something about he's got 18 vills, something about yaks.
Words, yaks, hunts, food.
Like, I've been perfectly okay this entire series.
Yeah, you've been doing well. Like.
And now that you've mentioned me being tired, I don't know. Suddenly it's come on all at once, and I'm like,
you've just
God.
realized like how actually tired you are. Whoa! Look how close that was. Nope.
65 points. Sit down.
Nope.
Where's the German explorer? I can't find. Oh,
He's
top
over
left.
here. He's exploring. True.
He's right on the edge of the map.
Every corner of the world.
Yep.
So it looks like a 5 cav semi from the French player.
Yeah, and it looks similar.
Probably only got 2 cav out on his first batch.
Yep. Did he actually only get 2, or were
yeah,
those 2
he's
from
got
the shipment?
Yeah, 4 of them are from the shipment.
Oh yeah, true facts. But should be able to shut down these first 5 Hussar fairly easily as well, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. And we can see he is slowly approaching the resources needed to age himself, so both players likely going to be aging up here. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's transitioning into double Rex musket.
Yeah, interesting. That's what I just noticed as well. He's got 2 barracks down, which is likely going to mean he's probably going to stay in the second age. You normally would not see that if you were expecting expecting to age up yourself.
And Bobaby's gone for a greedy FF build himself.
Yeah,
he's gonna try and just gather the resources to age up.
Yeah,
that could end up
backfiring quite heavily.
Exactly.
We'll have to see, because if you combine the fact that the slower aged up, although a blade slightly stronger economic, age up from the German player is going to cost him a couple of seconds, and if the timing push comes as off the back, that could be really, really good for us.
This is a really good trade for Bobaby right here.
Yeah, he's getting a lot
killing
of
these
Hussar
before
trade.
Right?
There is no trade. He's just killing us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I meant is, like killing these Hussar before the musket arrive is so good for him.
Yeah. He did kill 4 of them for essentially free, and that, as Sam mentions, makes this musket follow-up behind us that less scary. I mean, if you have all those Hussar alive, you should be able to tank in front and allow your muskets to do damage. Yeah. Pretty scary thing, but now, I mean, a Minuteman popping you out.
Minuteman just completely stops this.
Yeah. Does pick off a villager though. Going to pick off 2 villagers, so a little bit of sloppiness there. But as you mentioned, like Minutemen can be called right now.
The Minutemen are coming.
I think we're about to see them. Here they come. Of course, all the units slowing them down in hand combat. No way these musketeers are going to get away. And the cavalry just going to DPS them down with the supporting fire of the Minutemen.
From Bobby.
Boy Bobby. Going to be able to pick off all those muskets. And
what a lad.
What a lad. There's that churn for like the 4th time.
So French has aged up as well.
Yeah, he's on his way aging right now, but I mean he is significantly slower, and he has just spent like a bunch of resources on that batch of cav, 10 muskets. So I mean that's just going to be units that he could have had instead, right?
Yeah,
he could have been
and even
though
he killed 2 vills, but he's still behind in vill pop.
Yeah. And here comes this big, scary Germany like counter timing push. I mean, 8 skirms is out on the map. We have to assume the Uhlans will be upgraded at some point. And I mean, Germany has got a big window here where now French is starting to suffer in terms of resources gathered. He doesn't have really anywhere to gather food from aside from his yaks, and this is when traditionally you want to not have to be dealing with.
It's a rough pop on the scams as well.
Yeah, right into the hands of the Uhlans. Those Minutemen still alive on 1 HP, still doing a lot of damage as well.
Turning up.
Yeah, but either way, both sides do have their 8 skirmishers in the mix now by the looks of things. Yep, both sides do have those, and it looks like it's going to push back Bababu for the time being. But at the same time, I don't think that that's something he's too concerned about. We can see his next shipment has arrived because he did get aged up significantly earlier. He does have a pretty good advantage in terms of when his shipments are arriving. They're going to be a little bit earlier consistently for him, which is going to be really nice. And I think when that next shipment especially comes, whether it's 9 Ulan or 7 Skirm, like that's going to be a big timing window for him to push forward here, because like I mentioned, our boy King of Osmane has no coin mine, he has no hunt really to speak of, and only has those yaks really to back this push here. And even right now, this could get scary in a hurry for him.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much he can do. He has no way of gathering coin right now.
Minumen are going to be called, going to try and help here, but the Ulans are in a really good spot, doing a lot of DPS to these skirms. 5 Dragoons do pop out as well from King of Osmane, but here come more skirmishers in for the red player, going to be able to pick off some of these units. Looks like he is going to be forced back for now, but for how long? Still taking a look at the military populations, Bababu 35 versus 19 for King of Osmane, which is going to result in, just continued pressure, and as this pressure continues to ramp up, we have to take a look at where the CDB are gathering. They're forced out to this silver mine to the front side of the map. And that's easy pickings for the skirmisher advantage now that Bababu has from having his 7 skirm shipments. So going to be able to just poke back and forth, continue to apply pressure, continue to harass. And although, the CDB are pretty tough and do take a lot of damage, do take a lot of time to kill, they're not impenetrable. They don't stand up to a million skirm shots, and it looks like that's what Bababu's going to be able to do. He's going to just be able to continue to step in here, continue to do damage, and continue to push this resource advantage. If we take a look at what resources Green has, it's not enough, and it looks like he's going to call GG as a result.
GG.
He just doesn't have anywhere to gather resources. I mean,
Yeah.
I've already deleted my game file, my recording, because there's just no point in anyone watching what I watched, because half the time I wasn't looking at anything relevant. I'm so tired.
It's just like you're out in the middle of the ocean, just like clicking on a wheel. Just like
I was like watching some fight, and you're talking about a 7 skirm shipment. I'm like, oh, I better go look at that. I'm like, oh crap.
Just like there's, it's just like
zoomed in on some fish, and
then
oh wow, that tuna's jumping real high. I'm like, oh well.
For like 3 minutes in a row, you're just watching the whale go like around in circles.
Yeah. Isn't that annoying though, how the whale goes around in circles? You can never find the damn thing till they pop up, and you're like hovering around. Where's the damn whale? I need to collect coin with my fishing boat. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you have to click on it, and then the little circle comes up.
Yeah, it's really annoying to find like the source of it at times.
Yeah. Low graphics for the win. That was... I'll probably put it on YouTube. Well, I will put it on YouTube, but I'm going to use your perspective.
What other maps are there? What's a fun
what, there's
map?
more? Oh, Jesus.
What kind of map do you want? Like a balanced land map?
I thought we were done.
I mean, I think Arkansas, or however you say it.
What, there are more games? Really?
Yeah. There's a guy in your place called Interjection.
I'm gonna press play on the stream. I want to see.
And
this.
he's got a Spanish home city and your avatar as well.
Did you think it was me for a moment?
I did, because like the name difference.
I didn't realize. He's even got the same PR.
Yeah.
That trolled down.
Yeah, except I'd have a 0% win rate because I haven't played any games.
Interaction.
It deleted all my games played and set my rank back to 25.
No one will know. How does it make you feel that guy has spent money?
We saw this
that
before. Yeah. I know he exists, and I do find it amusing. I think I laughed harder the first time, but that's the first time he's successfully managed to actually troll people. And you think, because every other time I've been like, I'm not in the game, and then you'd be like, well, who's this? I think Osmane hasn't noticed.
No, he's noticed now.
Yeah, he just worked out.
Shall I join for the next one? I guess I'll see this series through.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I'll try and commentate a bit more this one. I'll try and keep up.
Have a cup of tea.
They take a while to brew. You got to do it properly. In Britain, we brew our tea for Sam, what would you say is the optimal length of time to brew tea?
I do it for like probably 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is. I'm in agreement. Though I'm more of a 2.5 minute kind of guy. I think 3 or 4
depends if I'm in a rush.
I think 3 or 4 minutes it starts to get that funky skin on the top. I don't like it so much. Some people do. 3 or 4 minute tea. It's alright.
Yeah, it's not a big difference. If you give
How
it a
many
good stir.
Are you in agreement that the fewer sugars you have, the more sophisticated you are?
Yeah, I have no sugars.
Yeah, I have no sugar. See, we share the same beliefs in how tea ought to be drank and brewed.
Well, it's probably just like a British thing in general. You know, I don't know that I've actually ever had a cup of tea.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know that I've actually ever had a straight
Sam,
up cup of tea.
Do you want to go cast this without Zuta? We can host another game.
Yeah.
tea drinkers only.
Tell you what, I had an iced tea today. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was a peach flavored iced tea.
Lipton iced tea.
No, it was from Costa.
Ooh, Sioux by Bababoo. I don't actually know what civs like Bababoo plays. Like I'm not aware of like his normal civs.
I wasn't aware of Bababoo until today.
Yeah. I just like randomly saw him like sitting in a team game and just asked him if he wanted to play. Like I was just looking for like fresh faces, right?
Who, Bobaboo?
Yeah.
Bobaboo is my main man.
He's your main man. He plays three random with you.
Yeah, we go back.
Quite far, clearly. All the way.
I heard rumours. Do you remember that guy called Barbex? With like letters, like some numbers in his name? I'm gonna whisper you. Like this.
Yeah, Barbex.
Something like that, yeah. Apparently that's him.
Oh, is it?
Apparently, I don't know though.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Did not know that. Well, that makes sense then, because like that guy was a good player.
Yeah, he was. He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna bother recording this. I'm just gonna commit to using her. I'll still intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 6. Is it?
Yep.
God, I hope Osmain wins this. I mean, Bob. I don't know. I mean, I'm all up for a 7-game series, but I'm mostly up for my bed right now.
Well, you've been up.
For those of you just tuning in, I have been up now 24 and a quarter hours. But nonetheless, we do have. I've been completely fine for the entire of the series up until the previous game. It hit me all at once. King of Osmain start with 200 wood again. Will we see another market? He does have, the 30 coin treasure in his base, so consistently has been going for a market on 200 wood starts throughout this entire sort of series. And trading posts seem to be the in-meta thing here, but maybe the coin, maybe it's a playstyle decision. Maybe it's something else. But Bababoo in the south of the map playing as the Sioux, and is not going to be building any of those buildings.
Yep. In fact, he's not going to make a single building. He may just only make a corral to say, oh, he's going to make a market. He's
going to go for the market. All right. I mean, he's got the 40 coin in base, and only has to gather 10 coin in the wood required for hunting dogs. I guess it's
it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Especially like a civ against like a civ like French, where you're probably not going to get pressured early on. It's probably perfectly safe. So, especially now that he has this back hunt scouted out, he's got a. I mean, if you had a herd a long ways or something, maybe it would be a bit of a liability. But he's got a really safe hunt back here in his back pocket that's going to be really easy to defend, and as a result of that as well, can feel just all the much more. Comfortable with that. And I wonder if he's gotten eyes on this 140 food treasure up here. He did run up near it and likely waiting for his I can sympathize with him, to be perfectly honest. I hate the Sioux Explorer. The Sioux Explorer is maybe the most
He's better off just standing there and fight him.
Yeah.
And fighting him.
Yeah, and I think, ES sort of realized this when they made the game, and that's the reason Good Thunder here happens to have a negative multiplier, 0.5 times multiplier versus Heroes.
I'll tell you what is frustrating though, like when you're French and your scout runs near him, like he's dead and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, he just hunt. He's so fast. He moves so fast.
Yeah, and he makes other units move faster. Yeah. Here's one hell of a unit there. But definitely had eyes on that 140 food treasure, and is definitely going to be able to get it before he ages up. It's going to be very relevant this game. It's going to make him that much more competitive with a faster age too, and is still able to harass the opponent's explorer and send it.
See, this is the annoying thing too, right? Like, just kill the wolf, and run up. Yeah, there you go. Like that's the even more annoying thing is because he's so fast, you never feel secure taking a treasure. Like that scout is always. Like, he probably has basically the whole map scouted at this point, and he's just, like, running around just picking up all of your treasures. It's so annoying to deal with. It's so annoying to deal with. I hate it. I hate that scout.
Is that going to be ZutaZuta complaints #3?
Nah, I don't think so. Like,
no, I think we need something special.
It's got to be something more special than the Sioux War Chief.
Yeah.
Or something more generic than the Sioux War Chief, right? Like, I think everyone knows how annoying that guy is to deal with.
Yeah, I'm just following him around on screen at the moment.
Just pressing the spacebar.
It's been so good. It converts Guardians. It got that like outlaw rifleman guy who's absolutely outrageous. It forced the French explorer all the way back to his town, so he had less treasure gathering potential. Stole some treasures off him. But yeah, enough of that. We do have both players aging now, and by the looks of it, the Sioux. Gathering a little bit of wood there. Going to be laying down his corral, most likely.
Yeah, he's using his fast age too, so looks like he's. Well, what is he going to do here? I'm a bit curious. He's using the chief. Okay, I was a bit curious as to whether or not he was fast aging or not, but it looks like he's not.
We see the walls coming down. King of Osmane also aging, has his bills on wood and coin, likely saving for those colonial age upgrades, but also laying down a cheeky Kanisi-style wall and has apparently taken note. Look at the lack of gaps in between the walls this game.
Much better.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, much better this time around.
Yeah, so King of Osmane is actually known for walling up a lot, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I think he plays. Oh, look at this Vil. Is this Vil dead? No, we're just gonna pop him in.
Yeah.
Maybe next.
Well, the question is, why didn't they just go through the open gate?
Yeah.
What they do.
The one annoying thing for him though is he didn't get this herd of pronghorns all the way into his base, and so he's got the one good herd of bison right underneath his town center that he's going to be able to defend quite easily against impending bow rider, axe rider shenanigans. But once that runs out, I mean, look at where his next hunts are. Those pronghorn they're going to be useless. They're going to be impossible to control anymore from this point on out. And
well, if he shoots them now, they run around his wall. But if he closes off the wall, then they're useless.
Yeah. But then look at where his next hunt is, way out here, and that's going to be very difficult to defend. So.
For sure.
I'm a bit curious about what he's going to do to mitigate that factor. Taking a look at Bababu's base, he's sent 4 Vils as his first card, so it looks like he's going to play a little bit of eco here. And the bow rider spam has begun. We'll see whether or not he's successfully able to raid here with the walls that Osmane currently has up. Definitely going to have a lot of vision of those bow riders before they do become a factor in his base.
I think 4 Vils is actually a good. Wait, who's going to talk?
No, you go.
Okay, I think 4 Vils is a good decision here. He's seen, obviously, King of Osmane's walls, and he knows he's invested resources into building a wall, and it's can abuse that by sending sort of 4 Vils to eco ahead and sort of play a heavier eco style, even if it is just one shipment, a 4 Vil shipment, to maybe counter this turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine his plan is going to be send the coin next and age up. Yeah, it's just arrived. So yeah, definitely a good idea to send the 4 Vils first.
Do you think he'll actually age, or do you think he'll continue to just spam bow riders? Looks like he's gonna age.
I hope he ages.
Yeah.
That'd be really effective, right, against someone playing this kind of style.
I mean, look, if you look, he only got 2.
Ooh, don't lose the bow rider.
Yeah, so he purposely trained 2 bow riders
Yeah.
to leave 300 coin.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good practice. If you're planning on aging, you want to make sure you count that coin as precisely as possible. Likely going to be making bow riders once he begins his transition, and is going to want to continue to make bow riders in the transition just to deal with any kind of impending timing push. And so, you know, by making a few more there and making sure he still has enough coin, definitely good little.
I am interested to see what he ages up with, though. Because if he ages fast, he has no wood for a war hut, and he can't get the upgrade.
Yeah, this is true. But either way, it doesn't matter. Like, imagine if he gets 5 rifle riders out right now.
Yeah,
how
true.
absolutely brutal that will be.
But he is aging quickly.
Yep. And by the looks of it, King of Osmane has intentions of aging as well. We can see he does have his 700 coin on the floor, is gathering it currently, and it looks like is going to be able to get aged up with relative ease here. Did take a little bit of damage from the raids, having to idle some vills and stuff like that, but I don't think he's actually lost any villagers, and for what it's worth, that in itself is a pretty big win against, you know, the early Sioux raiding pressure.
Yeah, I mean, French are one of the best at defending the Sioux raids because CDB have 40 range resist.
Yep.
One little thing is if he's aging up, like these units shouldn't be standing at the front there. They should always be covering the back for raids.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, he has the vision in the front with the walls and such. Has the gate that he can pop in and out of as well, so it doesn't really need to worry about losing that CDB out front, as we now have demonstrated to us. And as you mentioned, yeah, it just needs to be a little bit more judicious with defending his back resources. And it looks like he's going to move back there now, identifying that the bow riders are working their way up to the north side of his base, and it looks like he's going to mirror their position with the muskets and shut down any sort of raiding potential there would be.
Yep.
And take a look at the unit shipments here now for Babu. This is where it's going to start getting a little bit scary.
9 Wakina rifles have hit the board. That shipment's really good. I guess scams do have slightly more HP.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got 120, I think.
Yeah. But 9 units, 9 skirmish units is really, really good.
Yeah. And at the same time has trained a couple of rifle riders here now as well. So going to make things a little bit more awkward for his opponent, and catching out the scout here a little bit. And I don't know, Osmane seems to be in an okay spot despite the fact that, you know, he's aged up a little bit slower. He does have some skirms out, does have his 8 skirmisher shipment now as well, so everything looking to be okay for him. And I think he's got a decent counter to the current army that Red has out on the board. But as you did mention, Red does, you know, he's got the 9 Wakinas, he's got all of his infrastructure set up, and he did have that fairly economic start as well. So,
oh, getting a bit close to the mast there, not too good, especially since skirmishes do have a longer range. And, you know, trying to be a bit cheeky as Bobaboo, trying to pick off a few of these green units, but actually, as a result, just gets a little bit too close, perhaps walks too far into that mass and loses a few extra units. A small point, but not so good since France is... Well, actually, yeah, France does have the stronger eco, so I forgot French.
But one thing to mention is there is no staple, there's no Ville's gathering wood, and he doesn't have the vet musket upgrade.
That's true, but at the current time, he does have quite a few skirmishers. Yeah, he's got quite a few skirmishers, and if you take a look at what Babu is actually making, skirmishers counter everything that is currently out on the field, and so until there's like something a little bit more scary, like some sort of axe rider shipment or something like that, he can probably get away with just cheating towards this big infantry ball.
Ship Falks, no problem.
So Bobavir's just shipped the 1k wood as well.
Yeah,
he's dropping a second trade post.
Looks like he's going to play this a bit slower, and I'm not so sure that this is the right way forward for him, but.
I don't know. With the wall up, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
He's got his opponent confined. He's going to be out of hunts in a second.
Yeah, well, he needs to be pressuring over here, I think. He's got vision of this right hunt now with the trading post. If he just swings everything up to this north side of the map, he has to know his opponent is running out of hunt at some point in the very near future. and he needs to be able to control that, certainly, if he wants to have any chance. But seeing this big skirm mass, like, he can't be happy with seeing that. He must know that he's going to have to train some axe riders here in the very near future, and get the upgrades for those as well.
Perhaps he's just maybe waiting to hold on for that sort of 15-minute dog soldier big button timing. That's certainly something that does provide one hell of a sort of tech switch in sort of one hell of a composition switch, which is going to be very effective against skirmishes, which King of Osman is making. Does look like he's pushing out for that hunt now, though.
Yeah, and also, like, just look at his next shipment as well. 5 rifle riders doesn't really improve his composition that much. I mean, currently, as it were, pretty much just skirmishers and dragoons on the map. There are, I mean, the remaining musketeers that were trained, but they're not going to be the biggest factor, and it's certainly not something like Muscats, which rifle riders are really, really strong at countering that composition. It's not like that composition does exist, and I think he's just a little slow on the uptake. I would have liked to see him over here pressuring. Now that Green has established this side of the map, I think it's going to be tough for him to get over there. And like you mentioned, he really needs some sort of hand cav. He needs to be able to get some sort of hand cavalry out, and maybe dog soldiers is a good way to do that. But
yeah, I would have liked to have seen a 3 dog soldier shipment instead of the 5 rifle riders.
Yeah, he definitely needs some cav for sure at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean he can't be taking these the Wakina trades.
Yep. I mean,
He's gonna
just don't
lead
trade
these
it.
now.
Yeah. And now with the 2 falconets out on the field, I don't know. It seems like he's just not going to have enough stuff. I like the 2 bills that are like sticking out the back as well.
Is it even good though? Because bow riders can shoot over the top of that, and rifle riders.
Useless.
Yeah.
Here come the 2 falconets.
We do.
He's got to run. He's
Falcons are gonna hurt big time here though.
Oh, he got away.
He got away. He does have quite a few rifle riders, which do ×6 versus artillery. They are rather effective, so maybe he can get the cheeky snipe off, especially with that 1 cannon making its way up on that plateau. Looks like that's exactly what he's gonna do.
Go for it.
He's gonna go for
Bobby
it.
coming in for the big play.
Yep. The run around.
Here we go.
I just realized that
down.
they had ×6. That's quite.
Yeah, it's really good. It just eliminated it and just completely pieced out.
Against, they have
But we do it. The Wicked is walking in and walking back out again. Gonna lose at least 2 units for free there, and that's not what he wants with his opponent sort of out ecoing him, and has access to that steel traps, which he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Sioux can never afford to just lose units for free. It's all about the unit control.
Oh no, that tomahawk! Oh no, those units!
The fella.
Don't like this.
It looks like he is now saving for the big button upgrade, though. Well, actually, that's not true. He has a lot of coin in pile as well. What has he got in queue?
Nothing.
Wakina rifle. Yeah, and what did he do with that wood shipment as well? Like, it feels really awkward. It doesn't feel like he achieved anything with it.
He
He
dropped
got
like
2 TPs and got Sage Code.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, it hasn't. Looks like he's just going to put all of his villagers here on dancing. Like, they're all over here on the fire pit on the left-hand side. And I think he's just going to push in. And here comes the 3 dog soldier shipment as well. Looks like he's just going to ram it.
I think he's going to win quite
Yeah, I think he will as well, especially with all these villagers dancing. Immediately gets rid of the falconet. And he's got the Wakinas now in a pretty good spot, dealing a lot of damage to the infantry.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure though, there's a lot of skirms.
So many skirms.
There's a ton of skirms, and the rifle riders aren't in such a good spot. They're all going to be taking the damage straight up from the skirmishers, as they are the closest unit to the skirmishers for them to target. So they're just going to be countering the correct units without even having to micro here, really.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, that many
war dance
that war dance
crazy.
Is crazy.
But how, in terms of like 25 villages being idle in terms of resources gathered, how crippling is that? Just to get the edge in this fight?
It's probably not worth it, to be perfectly honest. The one other good thing about all of this is that French is like, he's out of resources essentially. He's like hard stopped on resources, so that is certainly a good thing for Bababoo. But
he really needs to stop making rifle riders.
Yeah, they're a dead unit. Like, oh, here comes 5 axe riders though. No. 5 axe
Almost
riders.
hit the shipment.
Yeah. Oh, but at
Yeah.
the same time, 3 tuned down.
3 cuirassiers do join the
Oh,
fray.
kite them.
Kite them like a monster.
Oh yeah, he did it. Bobby got it. Come on, Bob.
Our boy Bobby. Imagine if these axe riders get into position, it could be really good.
So he did well there. He killed all the curs without losing anything.
Oh, don't group it all up. Don't group it all up.
It looks so good.
It looked so good, and then it immediately just got so bad. I don't know though, like,
still good.
yeah, but he's still not gathering very many resources as a result of all this, and
He's only got 8 vills on the 5 hit right now.
okay, he took a bunch off, I guess then. But still, like, he's not winning decisive enough, right? Like when Sioux commits to this kind of a push, he are they stuck in it?
Is it good? Like now you have to spend 50 wood on or deleting a segment.
Yeah, it just deletes a segment, I guess.
Like that will achieve nothing. There's no reason to put it there. Like your army was in front of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's
that's
like
good.
sometimes it'll be good and it will look really clever, but most of the time, yeah.
This is starting to get scary for Green here once again. Like all of his eco is over here in this corner. But
Yeah, and he's got quite a lot of muskets mixed in there, which he uses.
Yeah. At the same time, though, like he needs to reinforce with some more axe riders. Like he doesn't have a big enough compositional advantage that he can just force the issue here with just his Wakinas.
And there's still no stable from the French player, so I mean,
Wow, that's an
he doesn't
interesting
know
shift.
that, but yeah.
Wilderness warfare being sent for King of Osmane, upgrading his skirmishes and his Carrera de Bois by, I believe, 20% HP. Quite the card.
Yeah, really, really.
It's actually pretty good, considering that's basically in this area his composition, skirmishes and CDB.
So Bobaboo has just shipped the 1k coin
yeah.
Axe Rider upgrade.
It's really good.
Where are they? I can't find them.
They're
Oh, there
running
they are.
here.
Yeah.
And
Axe
when
Riders
they get
change
here, like that's
extra 20% HP and 6 Axe Riders. That is pretty
game
good.
over.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
just no way he holds this.
yeah, he has to fight with all of his vills here. He needs to be pulling all of his vills right now. Yeah, here they come. But at the same time, he still doesn't even know about the Axe Riders, and he's still having to pull. I don't know. Here it comes. This is going to be probably the defining point. King of Osmane
And there
is resigned.
He sees it. GG. And this is
Is
where
that
your
the-
dad
what is that?
asks.
Is that
What?
is that 3-3?
No, it's 4-2 for Bababoo.
4-2. Okay.
Oh god, there's more games. Oh no, it's
No,
over.
there's not. Interjection's just like taking a big sigh of relief.
I go to bed.
But
For those of you just tuning in, I'm not lazy or upset for no reason about AOE3 action. I've just been up for 25 hours.
But to this game, I do think that Osmane